And we are live.
Are we actually live? Do we know this thing still works after this long, Mav? Are
And
you
we had
sure?
to wipe the dust off.
You've been
But
having lots of problems. Make sure we get that out of there and actually have this thing working. Hey, everybody. Welcome. It's Thursday night. That's right. We are back. My oh my, it feels like Mav was saying like 8 months since we've been on the air, but here we are, Thursday night. Fun Speculation Network. Everything's saying that we are green, that we are live, and this is PM in the PM. Pong and Mav in the PM on a Thursday night like we normally would be, but except during the holidays and everything gets all messy and we take time away. But glad to be back. And obviously, in the famous words of the Eddie Murphy character, Billy Ray Valentine, Merry New Year. Merry New Year, everybody. Welcome to 2025. Thank God we still got video games to escape from the real world. Because we didn't even get 24 hours before the real world decided to get nuts again. But we got video games. That's the good news. And we got lots of video games. We don't have lots of video game news. So this could be a light show. We're going to have some fun, obviously, with 2025 now in swing. And we know what that's going to be like. So we're going to take a look at breaking news. Breaking news, everybody. That 2025 is going to be a freaking fantastic year for video games. And thank God, like I said, the way that 2025 started in the real world, we're going to need them. So, but we're going to get to that in just a second. And Mav, like I said, it's been a light news week, but I got to get to here, brother. It's been so light, Mav. You know how it's been a light week, Mav? Light 2 weeks because it's the holiday season. We got
how's that?
people making videos. We got people arguing in 2025 now. I got to keep telling myself that because I got to remember it's 2025. In 2025, we have people making videos, arguing, having entire shows based around the freaking Series S again.
Oh,
Are we doing this again, Mav, in 2025? We are potentially, I should say, not approximately, because we don't know for sure, but potentially, Mav, we are a year or less away from new hardware being announced from Xbox. Does the Series S really fucking matter at this point anymore? Does it really? Does one game, even if it's a great game, not coming, really matter, Mav? Especially when they might announce new hardware from everything we're hearing that's hybrid, that you might just actually be able to buy that new hardware, which, again, the vast majority of this community are the ones that go get that hardware day one, right? They're going to forget about the Series X and Series S real quick. But that new hardware, Matt, from what we've been hearing again, might be hybrid. You might be able to go in the next couple of years and go purchase that Black Myth Wukong over at the Steam store and play it on your freaking Xbox on your TV. Do we really care, Mav, at this point, if the devs are lying? Do we really care if the Series S is still a problem child or a potato? My God, it's been a light news week for a couple weeks because we do have a lot of people making a lot of content out there. But Mav, get your thoughts on that. And brother, first of all, it's been a minute. We didn't actually get any game time in over the vacation time, which I thought we were going to, but we did not. But I know you've been playing games. I know you've been having a hell of a good time. So what have you been playing? Anything exciting going on for Christmas, New Year? And what do you think about the Series S controversy again?
Oh, yeah. I mean, so first off, yeah, Happy New Year's to everybody. It is a brand new year. We are now a quarter of a century into the 2000s.
Yes.
Crazy.
Happy 25th anniversary of Y2K, as I posted on X, by
Yeah,
the way.
yeah. I mean,
Because that's what it is. It's crazy. Yeah.
Thinking back
Nuts.
25 years ago, what gaming was like in the year 2000, Xbox was just a thought, right? Just about to hit. Was it 2001? I think when it dropped, was it the year 2000?
2000.
The
2000,
2000?
wasn't it?
Yeah, that maybe. Yeah,
For
this is
sure.
gonna be their either this year or next year's their 25th anniversary. Maybe
Next,
2001.
it's this year. It's this year. Isn't it
Is
this
it?
year?
I'm not sure. I can't remember.
Xbox launch.
2000 or 2000? 2001, I think.
Was it? Yeah, it could be. Oh, gee. I thought it was 2000. Maybe I'm just. Oh my
Yeah, it's
God.
like we're like 25 years. Like
Yep.
think about that.
Yep.
Anyway,
Yep. It was 2001. You
yeah,
are correct, sir.
2001, and I think Xbox Live launched in 2002.
Mm. That makes sense. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's been fun. We had some fun with Christmas, we had that whole thing, and we had fun with New Year's. We had family over. We played games, had some drinks, I had some good food. Then I had stomach issues the next day, which is just par for the course, right? For that, so it was great. Now we're on to the second. Real life starts to begin again for many of us, right? And we're off looking forward to what's in store for us this year, and I think it's going to be amazing. Gaming wise, I've been playing a little bit of this and that, like usual. Indiana Jones again.
Nice.
It's just I taking my time with it. Absolutely love the game. The more I play of it, again, it's just for me, it's like a masterpiece kind of game. One of those games you're gonna remember for a long time. One of those games it's like once a generation type of game that you are going to remember for forever, right? And that's what Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is for me right now. And I'm taking my time with it, just having a blast. Um, and I've been kind of dabbling back into flight sim a little bit here
Oh,
and there. Yeah.
okay. All
Yeah. I
right.
just
How's it
like
playing? How's it playing? Is it playing better?
Oh, it's played great since day 2.
I know
But for me, it
yeah.
played great since day 1, I did except for the queue,
Yes.
you know?
Yes. Yes.
I know different people had issues, but it's been an amazing game. I just like doing free flights. I like picking a random plane and picking a random location. I was like, I wanna see what this part of the world looks like and take a little flight. And that's kinda I chill while we're watching movies and stuff. I've been even using more of the cloud streaming things on the Xbox app and experimenting more with that. Yeah, but it's been great, man. Just enjoying the glory of video games, and this year I think is gonna set a new bar for many of
Mhm,
us when it comes to
mhm.
that. So yeah, this whole Series S thing again. It's like, can we just stop blaming the Series S for everything? Can we just like go back to blaming 3-bit for stuff? Like I know what the guy said, okay? He's like, "I gotta have more years of experience to be able to optimize for this shared memory thing with the blah, 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 blah."
Fine. It's fine.
Everybody else figured it out, okay? Like, I get you. Yeah,
Well, not everybody. Not
well,
everybody. Let's be fair. Larian still doesn't have split screen on Baldur's Gate 3. Yeah,
okay, whatever, but that's a unique, like, situation, feature on like, come on, it's a single player game, right? Black Myth
no,
Wukong have any reason that it can't do
no.
stuff that all these others
You know me. I'm just playing devil's advocate right now,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I've said what my belief is, right? That it was paid, right? Again, all's my point is it now, Mav, 2025 doesn't really fucking matter
Yeah, I think
at this
originally
point.
your, theory
Yeah.
was correct about, like,
Mhm.
them getting kinda paid to prioritize the PlayStation, make sure it released on time, optimized, and then,
Yep.
hey, put the Xbox in the back burner. They're like, "Okay." At the end of the day, for me, I've had access to that game since it launched. I haven't decided to touch it, and play it or buy it or whatever because it's been on PC since day one. If I get interested in it, I'll buy it that way. If it never makes it to Xbox or if it makes it later or whatever, that's fine. I know some people will be looking forward to it, but I gotta say, like, what backdoor deals, optimization, prioritization, all these other kind of things, just like stop making excuses. If you want to reach more gamers, put your games where they are, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And you can do the work to do it. Yeah, you're a new developer. There's so many new developers out there. There's one person teams that have made some of the most amazing things that we've seen in a long time as well that managed to get their games everywhere as well. So, I when these devs talk about this kind of stuff, it's about priorities and maybe you took some money, maybe you didn't, I don't know, but your priorities were obviously elsewhere. And
Yeah.
that's up to them. That's up to their decision. They can do that. It's whatever. But if they're not going to be happy with, you know, not being on Xbox, there's only one person to blame and it's them themselves for whatever reason. It's either the optimization that they didn't take upon themselves to make sure they didn't get right, or the fact that maybe they took money to put it on the back burner. Either way, it's on them. It's not on Xbox, not on the Series S, it's not anything else. It's on the developers for making those decisions and doing what they did. So, um that's what I got to feel about it. But other than that, it is what it is. They'll miss out on those sales on Xbox until it comes later, and I know many people are already saying they're just kind of over
Yeah,
it by that point, and that's what happens when you end up launching a game later on another platform. Sometimes it doesn't perform as well because people have already kind of moved past it. 2025 has got so many damn games to look forward to this year. It's going to be a flash in the pan when it hits. It's going to get lost in the sauce. If they manage to make it at this point, like what's the point? You know, you like you said, next year maybe in 2026 we could end up getting potentially new hardware where it's not going to be a thing anyway, so it's
right.
not even going to matter. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. I'll look forward to the games that are on the platforms that I prefer to play on,
Mhm.
and look forward to that. But yeah, 2025's got plenty of them, and some of those won't be in other places. Some of them may end up making appearances other places, some later, some sooner, and we'll have fun talking about that, and also all the games to look forward to, man. But whew, I'm glad to be back. It feels good to be podcasting again, Pong Soul. I feel
It
like I
does.
haven't spoken to chat or community or another
Mhm.
podcaster in a while. Well, actually, I did do a show with Boom last week.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah,
So
that
you
was
did have a little something.
yeah.
That's good.
I had a little something. That was the
Little something, little
first
taste.
yeah, for like an hour show. Yeah, I was over there on
Nice.
Double Barrel Gaming hanging out. But I hope everyone in the chat is doing awesome. I hope you all are have had a great holiday season. I hope you all had some great times and fun memories, and looking forward to spending the next year with you all. So thanks for being here.
Facts.
We also have some
Facts,
super
man.
chats and some gifters to get to. Pong, I don't know
Yeah,
if you.
I was gonna get to it.
I was gonna get back to you, but I don't know if you want to get those first or not.
Yeah, I'll grab them first. I was planning on doing that anyways. I had them right here because we are starting off 2025 like this, everybody. So attention, ladies and gentlemen. Attention aboard the fun speculation hype train. That's right. It's 2025. We're not throwing this bit away yet. No way, no how, because everybody likes a little choo-choo motherfucker in their lives. So let's go, everybody, because we got the one and only BT Maverick 707. He came on through tonight with a little easy 5. That's right, a nice little layup finger roll to start off 2025. Got us a brand new car full of speculators. Welcome aboard, speculators. Please do take your seat. Please start buckling those 4-point harnesses because we are now at a Mach 2.5 this early 2025, and we don't want you getting lost out the windows too early on. So please pay attention to the attendants as they show you how to buckle those in and get ready for a great show. Welcome aboard, all you new speculators, and BT Maverick 707. Choo choo, motherfucker. Choo choo. Thank you for that. Keeping us ad free in 2025. January, fresh start. That's right, everybody. Your goal for January, we got to get big numbers to start off the year. That's right. 8,620. That's right, to keep us ad free in 2025. So you got a big number, but we got a full month. So let's get going, everybody. Thank you, BT Maverick. Appreciate you, brother. And then the one and only RC Polygons came on through. RC came through with the 10 bomb. The nice little super chat here. RC Polygon says it's only 2 days of the new year. People are saying Xbox is dead and doomed in this stupid secret level rage bait. I'd rather have Doom and Halo meet up for the first time in a game rather than a TV show. You know, RC, first of all, Happy New Year. Merry New Year, RC Polygons. And thank you for swinging
Merry
on
New
through. And
Year.
thank you for the $10. Yeah, Merry New Year. Thank you for the 10 bomb. Appreciate you so much, man. Choo choo, motherfucker. I wasn't going to really touch on this, but actually, I thought about doing it just because I want to get Mav's opinion on this. I don't listen. Not everything is rage bait. Not everything is crying. Not everything is grifting. Not everything of everything because somebody holds an opinion that might not lean your way is necessarily that. And I'm not coming directly at you, RC Polygons, but I do think there are discussions to be had. I would, again, casual Halo fan here. Don't, okay? You guys all know this. Anybody who's been here long enough. So Master Chief is not one of my famous. I respect where he is. Again, he'd be on my Mount Rushmore of video games. But me personally, this whole Doom and Halo thing, for me, it is a big miss. Mav, and I don't know how you feel about this, but when I saw this today, and again, there's always more to the story than just what we got with the nah. Okay, that's being dramatic. That's obviously somebody on probably the Amazon side feel a little miffed that they were turned down to do this, right? Um, I would love to see a video game, right? With Doom Guy and Halo, and Master Chief. I would love to see a mashup. I would love to see them. I've said before, I would love to see a crossover where they get taken out of each one of their universes and put into each other's universes and have that kind of crossover game. I think that would be dope as hell. The chances of Xbox and Microsoft greenlighting that are very slim as of right now when we're speaking, okay? For a multitude of reasons. All those studios are pretty full. They are thinking about how they're going to reboot Halo as a whole, let alone thinking of a crossover with Doom Guy in the game series. So there's a lot that would have to happen to make a game actually come into existence. So if the game isn't something that's actually kind of viable, I would have loved to have a fun 30-minute CGI from Blur movie of those two guys in battle together and what they would have come up with. I think that would have been dope. I, again, would love to hear the full story. So I'm just really taking it at surface level here. I'd love to know the reasons why they would turn down something like that, because there is nothing that bad that can come out of it. They already had a TV show done by Paramount that was probably one of the worst things they could have ever done to Halo, in my opinion. Okay. Now, Mav kind of liked it and others did like it, but I'm just saying from far away view, again, as somebody who doesn't have much skin in this game, that is not the Halo show you needed. So I think if I was in anybody's shoes that was making that type of decision, Mav, I would have greenlit this in a fucking heartbeat and said, you want to make a 30-minute CGI between two of our biggest characters now that they own both of those characters? Go fucking for it. It can be nothing but positive because so many people want to see this happen anyways. And it's called reading the room and understanding your fan base. And I think the vast majority of the fan base, had it been announced that this was going to happen, would have been fucking excited as hell, man. Now, obviously, everybody's got to play it back because it got announced that it was turned down. So everybody's kind of like, oh, you know, whatever, you know, don't really need it, blah, blah, blah. No, nobody needed it. It's not like you need it. I just think it would have been dope as fuck to see. And I think it would have been a great lift for especially Halo and the Master Chief side. I think it would have been great to have that in this day and age with him and Doom Guy. I just think it would have been a moment that I would not have passed on if I was Microsoft Xbox. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, you see these things all the time about publishers and stuff like passing up on projects that seem like obvious home runs, right? It happens all the time. I don't get the rhyme or reason to why they make some of the decisions they do.
Yeah.
There was news what it came out last year about like so many Halo projects that were pitched from
Mhm.
343 that never got greenlit and all these other kind of things like side games and stuff. But I mean, at the end of the day,
Yeah.
I think that is a thing that is like I don't know what it would have been, so it's hard not to. It's not. I'm not like upset that they didn't do it, right? But I wish I could have seen it because I think it could have been really cool. But
Yeah.
it's not anything that's like rage inducing for me, right? Like where
No, no, no.
I have seen some people a little overboard with it. But
Sure.
as far as like, hey, that was a missed opportunity, I would agree with that because I think I think it would have been the highlight of the entire thing. I think
Mm,
if you had like Halo Doom crossover as like an episode of that, it would have
yeah.
been the thing that people were most excited for to see the entire secret level show thing that they did, right? So that would have been pretty cool. I mean, they got a fucking show for Concord, right?
Right.
They
Right.
got an episode for Concord, right? Like
Yeah.
some of the games that are there, some of the ones are just not exciting at all, right? For me. So this would have been one that have been like, okay, I'm gonna have a reason to make sure I watch that. That would have been definitely the highlight for me, I think, for many people. But for whatever reason they said no. They have we've known it from the past that they've been really protective of Halo and their IP, but then they do greenlight some of the Stranger Things, right?
Mm,
So, it is interesting the directions that they choose to go. What I do hope also is that they're learning from some of the other successes that they've had that were started, maybe before they even were involved or whatever. I don't know when the Fallout show was originally conceived and started from Todd Howard. I don't know if that was before the ZeniMax on acquisition, ZeniMax Bethesda acquisition, if that was when the original discussions took place with Bethesda and what's the um director's name who they chose to do it. Um
Oh,
Jonathan Nolan,
yeah,
right?
Nolan. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep.
I don't know when all that started, but regardless, like if it started after Microsoft or before or whatever, I'm not sure. But I hope that they saw how this great show and this great things done the right way can really elevate a franchise with transmedia. I hope that they take that into gears, right? And I hope
Mm,
when something like this comes falls in their lap in the future, like an opportunity like this, they might look at it and be like, okay, well, that's just a fan service thing. It's not going to hurt us in any kind of way. It's not going to
right.
do any damage to us in any kind of way. It's just giving fans something to think is awesome, keeping Halo in people's minds, making Halo cool. Like that's something that they could, learn from. So, but yeah, I ultimately never saw it, so don't don't feel upset about it, but it would have been cool to see for sure.
Yeah, yeah. No, again, there's nothing to be over the top
Yeah.
about. And
My
sure, some people are
my
always going to be that way.
if I
Yeah.
was to have some crazy speculation in the back of my mind, right?
Yeah.
As to like whatever reason could they have said no to that? Like the only like I always try and flip it to where it's like maybe there's a positive at the end, is what if they already do have some kind of plan, right? If to do something with video game in some way or form or fashion, and they don't want the first thing where people see to be ruined by the surprise of like a show and some other kind of media as opposed to the actual games themselves. So
I would love to believe that.
I would love to believe it too,
I would
right?
love to believe
So
that, man.
I would
But
love to believe it too, man. So that's why
again,
I'm putting it out there.
the common sense stuff doesn't happen in this industry sometimes, man. It
Yeah.
just,
Oh,
well, a
yeah,
lot of times,
for
a
sure.
lot of times, not sometimes, a lot of times. It just doesn't. And it's especially, we've already seen a lot not come to fruition that just should have by now, and it just hasn't. So,
Yeah.
uh, if that does, though, if they did find a way to come through with Doom Guy and Master Chief in a crossover type game, hell yeah! Again, all cool for that. That'd be freaking
Yeah, a little
dope as hell, man.
cameo or something.
Dude, a co-op game, like, where they travel to each other's times,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
they're each
Oh,
other's oh, come on, all that shit. It would just be fun as hell. But anyways, hopefully
Master
that is
Chief,
the
I'm
case.
here to help you finish the fight against hell.
Right? Exactly. Thank you, RC Polygons, for the comment though, and the $10.
Yes,
Choo choo,
sir.
motherfucker. Appreciate that. Driving some conversation tonight. Because again, we are a light night tonight, so we don't know where we're gonna go with the show. We're just gonna have some fun and kick back and kind of get back in the swing of things as we are now in 2025, first show of 2025. So thank you all for being here. Appreciate you bringing some ideas to the show that we can talk about. We got Sith Lord member for 4 months. Thank you, Sith. And of course, Sith, always appreciate you, brother, for all the shout outs you do to the entire community and all the shows during the week that you shout out, man. Nothing but love to you. He says, 2025 with my two favorite gentlemen, too many games. Thank you, Sith. Thank you, Sith. God bless you,
Appreciate you,
sir.
sir.
And yes, we do have too many games. We do. It's legit
So many.
and it's getting worse. It's getting worse. So, anyways, thank you, Sith. Appreciate that. And then the one and only Mr. Brett Bingham coming through with the 5 bomb. Choo choo, motherfucker says, I wasn't completely against the Halo show, but was against it after Master Cheeks. Yeah, that pretty much did it all in for a lot of people, was Master Cheeks.
Kate loved Master
Over.
Chief.
Of course, Kate did. Do we think that that was the target audience for Halo, the TV show from Paramount? Probably not,
Yeah, yeah.
but they certainly did get that part right if that's what you were looking for. So, yeah, shout out to Kate and Master
What
Chief.
what the funny
Uh,
thing is, like, though, on
yeah,
that show, like,
yeah,
they ended on such a high note, where it left off, with bringing the flood in and all that stuff, like, the way they did the flood and all that, it was, like, awesome. Everybody was like, "Okay, this is going to be fucking crazy the next season," and then now it's like,
but they were
uh,
having him get in a relationship with the enemy, which, bro.
Yeah, it was season 1 though. They kinda
Was that season 1? I thought that
yeah,
was
yeah.
season 2. I
Well,
thought that was
season 2, they had it kinda like she was back, but, like, not really a lot of direct contact and stuff.
okay,
There was
alright.
but, like, there was still a lot of no helmet and stuff, but they
Yeah.
had way better scenes, like,
I saw
uh
the action scenes. I saw a lot of the action scenes were dope. I mean, they did a
yeah.
great job.
But
It's just
I
that
do have
that
some questions though, like, on some of that because 'cause I've
yeah.
seen so many shows, like, I watch shows all the time, movies, and, like, you see these, like, crazy set pieces with graphics and all this other kinda
Mhm.
stuff, and it's like and knowing that that was the biggest budget show for, like, Showtime, Paramount, and all that stuff, I was really curious because, like, that's the one part of that show that fell flat for me was the actual, like, CGI and stuff. Like, it just wasn't, like, up to par for me for, like, what I've seen in some other big sci-fi shows and stuff. But this where the story was going, I was okay with it, just separate storyline and everything. But, like, I was surprised that they had such a big budget, but
Isn't that the
this
question though, Mav, in general, with a lot of the big movies? There seems to
yeah,
be
but
a problem with CGI now.
you
There
see
seems to be a
s
massive
you
problem
see, like,
with
lesser
quality.
ones that are, like,
Yes, right.
that are, like, look
Right.
incredible and amazing and stuff. So, and I'm not saying it looked really bad. It's just
Sure.
that for such something that's so important in their biggest budget show they've ever done, you would have thought, like, the CGI would have been maybe the best they've ever done also, but instead it seemed like, okay, well, there's CGI wasn't that great, but
I know, and I just think yeah, I can see where I can see where that was a thing. Again, I saw the battle scenes. I thought the choreography of the battles was
yeah, it
pretty
looked
good,
great.
and
Yeah.
yeah, all that kind of stuff was dope. But I just think that's become a common complaint kind of across the board in a lot of
Yeah.
things that Disney's gotten slammed for their Star Wars. See, they've used some of the cheapest looking set pieces and
Yeah.
CGI of all time, bro, all time. Like, it's ridiculous, and so I just think it's kind of a Hollywood problem right now, but I could see where you said that, like, that being their most expensive show, yeah, you would think that they would put their best efforts into it, and it seemed like they, in some cases, didn't, so but neither here nor there, we don't have to worry about that damn show no more, so, hopefully, they'll get a new one started down the road at some
Yeah.
point when they reboot Halo. I'd love to see now that they have a relationship with Amazon, and Amazon's done such a fantastic job. Now, Amazon's had its misses too over the years, but obviously with Microsoft, they've got a great relationship now, obviously after Fallout. So I'd love to see them have a go at Halo,
Yeah.
obviously
They need
again,
to, like, do, like,
or Gears.
something
We'll see how Netflix turns out. Yeah,
something big and badass Halo transmedia, but do it right. It could be
yeah,
animated, it could be like it just do something fucking great because it is meant for it. Like it's just there to be made, but it seems like just for whatever reason, it's like never come to fruition in the right way.
no, and I think it's so many different things that have to come together to make it work. You have to have the right people. Like Nolan was the perfect choice to do
Yes,
Fallout
yeah.
because he had a love for Fallout as the video game. Like he actually knows
Mhm.
Fallout the video game, and match him up obviously with Todd and let Todd be over the project and give, they gave him all the assets they needed, like direct from, Bethesda and that kind of stuff. That's what you got to have in place to make it work. And then you got to have writers who also understand the homework, right? And we see too many mixed matches. That's why I'm curious to see what Netflix does with Gears, both in the anime and the live action. I want to see how those turn out, because of course Netflix has been hit or miss too with their content, but when they do it right, they do it really right. And I just think that, to your point, that Halo could be done right. You just got to have the right people. I still to this day, and again, this is just as casual Halo fan, but as somebody who was watching back in the day when there was so many rumors of movies, Neil Blomkamp obviously has a tremendous love for Halo. And the shorts that he created in the hopes of actually making the movie are still to this day hold up, Mav. And those were
Oh
made
yeah.
20, how long ago? Like 20 years,
I don't even
15
remember.
years
Yeah,
ago,
it's
something
a
like
while.
that.
Yeah.
And that CGI, to your point, Mav, and that was just shorts that he just created off the rip, right? He just created them off the rip. Like that CGI is almost better than what you were saying we saw in the Paramount Plus. And that old Neil really loves and has always wanted to do a Halo movie. So I think you find somebody
Yeah.
with that type of passion, if you're gonna do it down the road and bring it back again, I think that's what you gotta find, but we'll see,
I mean,
we'll
they
see.
use the assets that they
Yeah.
made at Weta in his District
Yes.
9 movie, you know, like,
Yes. Correct.
like, Peter Jackson was involved, they hired
Yep.
Neil
Yep.
Blomkamp, and part of the reason why supposedly the studio, didn't wanna keep funding, it was because of the director choice, because he was unproven at the time, for, like, big budget films, right?
Right.
And then he goes on to do, like, some of the best epic sci-fi
Sci-fis.
movies we've gotten in the last, like,
Correct.
decade, you know? So,
Yep.
it's interesting what choices they make, but maybe things can
I forgot
come
Peter
back
was
around.
a part of that too.
Yeah, he
I
was
forgot.
they went to
Yeah.
him
Yeah.
first, and
That's
Neil
right.
Blomkamp was his choice for the director, and they
That's right.
were making all the props. What do they have made a real warthog, all this
Why
stuff,
would
and
you yeah, why would you not trust Peter Jackson's choice? Jesus, man. Like, seriously, like I said, man, sometimes you overthink things too
yeah.
much, man, sometimes. So,
There's
but
like a
yeah, hopefully
graveyard of amazing shit that never happened, right? That's
yes.
one of them.
Right.
Another one would have
Yes.
been the Tom Hardy Splinter Cell movie, right?
Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, Tom
Oh,
Hardy's a badass. I always wanted to see his take on Sam Fisher come to fruition, but that never happened, you know? Anyway, it's just crazy,
sad.
crazy stuff that I was always excited about, and it's like, oh, we're gonna get this. Then, like 10 years later, what the fuck? What happened? How could you guys fuck this up so bad?
Right, right, exactly. No, no, it's true. Big graveyard out there of unfulfilled projects, that's for damn sure.
Yep.
Um, Decado. Jesus, Decado, I almost missed you, brother. Good to see you in here as always. Decado with the one and only 10 bomb dropping in here as well. He says, it's been a pretty long week here. Everyone, be sure to be thankful for what you have, love what you do, and get ready to game your ass off in 2025. Hashtag the golden age of gaming. Thank you, Decado. Appreciate you so much, brother. And yes, absolutely. That is always something you should be conscious of year round, but obviously it's easier for human beings to make the moments matter or to think about them more during the holidays, which is something that if you're going to do it at any time that, hey, that's fine. Just do it then, but do it to your fullest. Like Decado said, be sure you're thankful. And I am thankful too. And that's why I put out the post I did for on X for everybody in this community, anybody who's I've ever interacted with that made me smile in any way, shape, or form over the past year in 2024. I appreciate you so much more than you guys will ever freaking know because I'm not one to dump my problems publicly. Very few will ever know what I've gone through, and pretty much nobody will know the full extent. But 2024, I appreciate you all for giving me any types of smiles, and this community is absolutely amazing. And that's why I try to make every single podcast, no matter what's going on in my life, each and every week that I possibly can, because of how important that is. Like I said, it's part of counseling for me. It's part of it. It makes me happy no matter what kind of mood I'm in. Even if I don't feel like podcasting, when I get here with my brothers, with the family, next thing you know, by the end of the show, I feel so much better. So I'm thankful for you all, and we're gonna have a great 2025. Even though mine's gonna be extremely wild and crazy and busy and all sorts of shit. Gaming wise, thank God we got gaming, man. So it's gonna be fun. So thank you for that, Decado. Appreciate you so much. So yeah, we've already had some big conversations, but I guess I gotta say what I've been
Oh,
doing.
we got Alvin too. I don't know if you want to get his
Oh,
real
did we get
quick, but
Alvin? Oh,
yeah,
there he is. He just popped up. Yep, I see it. Alvin with the $5 super chat, the little 5 layup. Thank you, Alvin. Choo choo, motherfucker. He says Bill Nye's Davy Jones is still the best looking movie CGI character nearly 20 years later. Bruh, you ain't lying, Alvin. You ain't lying. Like Pirates of the Caribbean, Davy Jones,
yeah.
that breakdown, and I've watched the behind the scenes and the making of that CGI is ridiculous. And that has been the question people have brought up to Disney with Marvel and Star Wars and stuff over the past 5 to 10 years. Like, what
Well,
happened?
yeah, if you look at the like
Yeah.
Infinity Saga and stuff,
Yes.
and then compare it
Yes.
to some of the
Right.
stuff we've gotten in more recent
It
years,
makes no
so it's
sense,
like,
man.
yeah,
Technology's gotten better, but the CGI is going backwards.
yeah.
Right.
I
And that
think
it's crazy.
it's interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder if we'll see kind of a turn, hopefully a turnaround on that coming up, because like there was a period in time when a lot of those movies were being made during like the COVID era
Mhm.
and stuff like that, and then we kind of had like a not a lot of the bigger ones come out over the last couple years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's been kind of like But Deadpool versus Wolverine had great CGI.
Yes.
Like that one was
From what
amazing.
I've seen, I haven't seen it
Like
yet,
the
but
whole
yes.
opening scene with like the dancing the bye 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 like with Wolverine's like skeleton and stuff. Like it's just like it's absolutely amazing, dude. So like there's some really good stuff in that movie. I think some of the shows that they've done have
Yeah.
had some really good stuff, but I think we're gonna start to see a rebound on that in the
Hopefully. I mean, I would love to see it. I think budgets are out of control for the movies as too, and
yeah.
Hollywood's run its course, bro. And it's
Trying to figure out ways to cut costs and
I think that's a part of it, right? And obviously you can spend a lot of money. Again, go to Elvin's point, go back and watch some of
yeah.
the makings of Pirates of the Caribbean and see how long it took them to animate Davy Jones. Now, technology has gotten better, tools have gotten better, the tools have gotten better for the
Mm,
animators, but it would still take a very long time to get that kind of detail and realism into CGI even nowadays. And I'm sure
yeah.
part of the budgeting is like, no, we cannot, it's going to cost us more because CGI animators are now costing more than they did back in the day as well. But I want to see, there's got to be a better balance because we can't have chintzy ass CGI in this day and age when we had
No.
really great CGI. Again, Jurassic Park. It was freaking CGI.
Mhm.
Like some of it is crazy, man. You go back and look at it, it's nuts.
Yeah.
The level of detail. Transformers, even though I hate them, and I hate how they are, the level of detail in the animation is ridiculous, bro. The amount of parts in those characters, holy shit, it's nuts. So,
Yeah,
but anyways,
The Dune movies are
yes,
insanely
yes,
good with that too.
yes.
I mean, like they are really good job. This is an industry though that 3-bit does work in.
Mhm.
So this is when I think we actually can blame 3-bit a little bit,
Hey, you know what? It's funny that that's about the same time that 3-bit kind of left the gaming industry and
right?
started heading into that more. So it makes a lot of sense that
You
he's
know,
brought the 3-bit curse to that side of things
we
as
were
well.
getting all the game delays, poor optimizations. Things have gotten better now with gaming, but as that kind of happened, the movies and even commercials, man, they suck now. What happened to commercials?
Yeah, right. Commercials suck too, and it's all 3-bit's fault. All of them. Anyways, Matt, I just want to let you know too, on my side, you do sound like you're talking in a room, if you know what I mean.
Oh,
Kind of echoey a little bit.
okay.
You're not crystal. I just want to let you know that. I don't know how it's sounding to everybody that's listening to us live. I know sometimes I hear things and steel sounds fine when I listen to the YouTube version, but I'm just saying you kind of sound like you're talking in a
Let
room
me
versus your usual clear, focused sound. So just letting you know.
It might be. Oh, well, this is why. Because for you, I'm coming in through a completely different microphone that's way over there.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
there we go.
Ar
But
Hey, nice. Now
yeah,
you sound like the normal Mav. Okay.
there we go. Yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
even know. Like I said, like we haven't been doing podcasts in a while, and this is the first time we've actually been using Discord in
right.
months for a podcast. So
Oh god, you sound so much better, bro. Cool.
yeah, dude, I like literally the
Yeah.
microphone that I was just using
Yeah.
is like way over here.
That's crazy that it was
Yeah.
picking it up that well though.
Well, because I have the gain on it all the way up. Because
Uh,
like when I'm playing with guitar and shit like
yeah,
that, and
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
trying to
yeah.
mess with stuff, I'll use that.
Okay. All right. Good shit. Good shit.
I was surprised
Um,
you even could have a conversation with me though. That's impressive.
yeah, Razor Ultron says, "Damn, Pong, you only deserve the side mic." Yeah, pretty much it. That's, par for the
You
course
could have
around
told me
here,
this
man.
before the show.
I didn't notice it like until you were
Really?
talking, and then I was
Oh,
because I'm
okay.
doing, bro. Bro, you think I'm focused like that? Come on, man. I got a
Yeah.
billion things on my mind at all times, especially since I'm hosting. I'm not even thinking about it. That's crazy though, man. That is crazy. Um, Glad I said something because now you sound totally normal.
Yeah.
Uh, Anyways, everybody. So yeah, what a I've actually I didn't get the game as much as I thought I was with my long 5-day weekend. Well, because of course Christmas takes up one day, but I wound up getting busy and had a lot of real life shit on Thursday and Friday last week. So I didn't get the game as much as I wanted to over that extended holiday. But I still got plenty in over the weekend last weekend. Um, because Steele and I, if you guys didn't see it, we streamed a normal 5-hour show, but game streamed Path of Exile 2. So Steel came into my game because, of course, Steel's already he's at end game now. So he got it to end game. He's in maps now. He's holding off for he's gonna wait for some more changes that they're gonna do. He sees the potential, but he's not enjoying himself as much in maps as he thought he would. So he's gonna hold off for a bit. He's back to playing Monster Hunter, Iceborne now. He made it to Iceborne, but he came into my game and I was in Act 2. And we played 5 hours on Saturday, and then we played for another 3 hours on Sunday, or maybe close to 4 hours on Sunday. So I got 8-9 hours in last week in a Path of Exile 2. Got into Act 3, well into Act 3. I might be getting close to the end of Act 3. So yeah, just having a blast. Again, Path of Exile 2 is fun by yourself. It's a challenge by yourself. It's certainly something to be proud of. You see all the streamers streaming, solo games, right? And it's kind of that Souls kind of feel to it when you beat a boss, and it feels really good, and it's kind of a triumph, etc. But Path of Exile 2, just like Diablo, takes on new life when you invite somebody in, or you start roaming with more than one person, right? And it's a freaking blast. And again, early access, lots of work that they're going to be doing on this game. This is not the final product, but I love every minute in Path of Exile 2. There's frustrating parts. Steel and I ended on Sunday night, or Sunday afternoon, I should say, not being able to beat one of the side bosses. That was the first boss that him and I had a problem with. If you watched our stream, I actually thought we were going to have, some bigger, some boss battles that took us a few times. We only had one that took us twice. Him and I actually were talking. We were doing other things, but again, we were still focused on the game. There was a couple of them where you could see during our stream we go quiet. But overall, we just match up so well with our abilities between our two characters that we wound up just ripping through a lot of it. He would die every once in a while. I was saving his butt on Saturday quite a bit. On Sunday, it was the reverse. He was saving my butt quite a bit. And we were just having a blast, but I was leveling up, having a really great time. Love Path of Exile 2. Again, it's going to be in the rotation constantly. It's going to be something I continue to play. And so can't say enough about Path of Exile 2. Again, there's going to be a lot of work to be done. People that are making videos, the high-end players right now, they are getting flack from a lot of people for criticizing this game. That's what GGG wants. That's what early access is for, is to fix and solve things. Now, obviously, do some of the high-level players, do they want their own personal things kind of inserted into those games? Of course, we all kind of do that when we love a certain game. Like, we'll say, oh, I wish it was this way. So are they doing some of that stuff that maybe only high-level players are really going to care about at the end? Yes, but there are some really fair critiques and criticisms and changes that are being asked for that GGG is already following up on and have over the past couple patches. And again, 6 months to a year is the goal before launch 1.0, when it goes free to play for everybody. They're going to do a lot of work. GGG is one of the great studios out there, one of the great devs out there. That's why I support them. That's why I bought it twice. I can't wait to see what they do with this game. I love this freaking game. We got to get Mav back into it. Maybe we got to get some 3-player runs, or Mav and I, at least you and I, running through your character, because I know you ran into some issues. Obviously being solo. Hey, it happens, man.
Yeah,
it can get really fucking brutal. It can. It's one of those games. It's not like Diablo like that in a lot of ways, but yeah, man, I can't wait to see more Path of Exile 2. Then during the week, things got, or then to finish off the weekend, things got a little crazy. Like, I was kind of busy in the background, whatever else. Steel and I stopped playing Path of Exile 2. I had all these plans. I was gonna play Indiana Jones, Mav.
yeah.
How
far are you? You just do the opening thing still?
I'm in the Vatican.
Okay.
I'm doing the Vatican stuff. Everybody talks about the Vatican. It's huge. There's tons of shit to do, right? So I'm in the middle of all that, right? I'm in the Vatican. So I had plans to do that. Had plans to play some more Age of Mythology. Got all these great new games that I need to get into, right? I can go back and play some more Path of Exile 2. Start, pounding away. Yo, man, I put out a post. I wind up looking at my list of games and going, as a grazer, I got all these games on PC too that I could have popped in, but I was just wanted to play on my console. I didn't even want to fire up the PC. So I was like, screw it. And I go, God, I'm just not feeling any of this. So I deleted Call of Duty because it was so damn big. I was full up. And I go, what can I download? Of course, I got Borderlands 3 already downloaded. I start going through my list of games. I'm like, you know what? Outer Worlds 2 is coming out. I feel like picking up on Outer Worlds. Let's re-download Outer Worlds again. Re-download Outer Worlds. I actually bought the upgrade to the Spacer edition because that was on sale for the holidays for $9. So I picked up the Spacers edition. Well, I already had the 2 DLCs, so it didn't really, again, it was $9. So, but I got the update, which gives you up to level 99 cap now and all sorts of shit. So I bought that, re-downloaded Outer Worlds. Then I'm going through Mav, and for some reason, I'm like, oh, let's play some Mass Effect. Let's get the Mass Effect feeling back after playing some Dragon Age, Veilguard. I'm like, let's go back to some peak BioWare. I miss peak BioWare. So I re-downloaded Mass Effect Legendary Edition and started firing that up too. So I played some Mass Effect. I played some Outer Worlds. And then Mav, you probably saw my post, Mav. I think you reposted it. I was like, Age of Mythology, I'm still really addicted to that game, but fuck, man. Miss me some Halo Wars, Mav. I miss me some Halo Wars. And I re-downloaded Halo Wars 2 on top of everything else. And I started playing freaking Halo Wars 2 again against the PC, or against the AI, I should say. And getting my speed back up again. I was practicing, practicing and trying to make sure that I could fight off the AI when and beat it on a consistent basis again. So yeah, I started playing those 3 games out of all the shit I've got to play, Mav. I started playing that. And then of course, so that was, again, I won't, you guys all know those games. Again, it's weird when I start talking about old games. People are like, why do you play old games? Because I love fucking old games. Okay. I just do. There's just such good shit in there. And Outer Worlds was fun because I've got like 50 hours in Outer Worlds. I didn't remember a thing where I was, Matt. Yeah. I remember nothing. I walked into that game, loaded up my save, and I was like,
what the fuck?
The hell am I? And what the fuck am I doing? I was like, what is going? I had to read my list of missions and side missions, and I was like, God, I don't remember any of this. I'm like, okay, well, whatever. So I just started playing. But God, what a good game, man! I can't wait for Outer Worlds 2. Oh my God, Obsidian is so good. Their writing, Mav, their writing is so. Again, after playing Dragon Age Veilguard and seeing terrible fucking writing. Terrible writing, elementary writing, teenage drama writing from Dragon Age Veilguard. It was so good to experience peak writing again in a RPG game from one of the great studios in Obsidian. My God, I can't wait to see what they do with Outer Worlds 2. Anyways, that's enough Outer Worlds. And then yesterday, Mav, I fired up for the weekend a couple different, 3 different games, right?
Okay.
So one of them, Mav, you're going to have some interest in. Well, you have interest in multiple, but I'm just saying one of them we talked about last week. I actually tried the demo of that All in Abyss game. Judge the Fake. All in the Abyss, Judge the Fake. This is a JRPG game based around Texas Hold'em. Poker.
Oh, yeah.
We saw that, right?
Yeah.
I downloaded that demo, Mav. I played 3 hours of that game. It's fantastic. It really is fun. It is a blast.
That's so funny that you played that before Balatro.
Is it not? Because I'd be addicted to Balatro right now. 100%. I would be. 1,000%. So I picked this up, but this game is great. Actually, some of the back and forth between the characters is awesome. It's got all your class. If you're not into JRPGs, you're not going to like the game. It's all anime. Okay. It's all anime, but it's based around Texas Hold'em. Like the story so far. Some of the characters are funny, right? Interesting characters already. The skills, like in any JRPG, you're playing hands of poker, right? And you defeat them by betting, which in turns depends on the type of bets you make, has a multiplier, which then turns that into a final hit, which is actually like taking off their hit points, right? Which is actually their money, right? And that's how you defeat people in battle. But you get skills that allow you to cheat or adjust the cards.
You got to ace up the sleeve.
See the cards. Ace up the sleeve is actually one of the skills, right? So, just an awesome game. Played the demo for 3 hours. I'm sold. This is coming out in April, I believe. Again, it's called All in Abyss, Judge the Fake. It's really different and really cool. So anyways, I tried that. Then I have a game that I have wish listed for a long time. Made a post about it yesterday. Actually, I'll save that one for real quick. I did play some Humankind. Humankind is a 4X strategy game that came out last year. It was on Game Pass. I actually picked up the full boat with all the DLC on Steam through one of my key shops for like $3, $4. It was on sale a couple weeks ago. So I got the full game with everything. I had tried it when it was on Game Pass for a short period. I actually fired this up yesterday and played for about 4 hours. Aura History Untold, I love that game. I gotta get back to that game. And it does things different. Now, there's 4X strategy games that all kind of do the similar things, just different settings.
Yeah.
Aura tries to do something completely different with the game, with the instant turns, etc. That's really cool. I love that game. Humankind has not had the most success. It doesn't. I think it's got is it a mixed review rating? I can't on Steam. I can't remember. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But what they do, Mav, is you get to choose. So you start and you customize an avatar as your starting point, and then when you grow up, when you actually go to a new time period, right? You get to choose from a list of like sometimes 20, 30 different cultures to pick from. And so you can mix and match the cultures together and what they bring. There's over 1 million different matches you can make, they say, right? Mixtures that you can make. So that's their twist on this game, is that you get to kind of choose. You could stick with one, and it's called Transcendent, right? So you can transcend one culture through the ages if you want to, right? And you get bonuses for doing so. But otherwise, you can mix and match all different things. And based upon that, whichever one you're picking currently in that age is what the goals are set for. So they have specific goals. If you pick a warrior culture, obviously you're going to have military goals. If you're going to pick a trade culture, you're going to have those type of mercantile type goals, etc. Otherwise, it plays like a straight up Civ game is what it plays like. But that's their spin on it. Tougher than Aura. Of course, I started at military. I started with the Hittites, was my first culture that I picked. They were all military focused. So I had military goals like to defeat 6 other military units. So I went and, of course, attacked somebody right away and started a war with my neighbors right away. Like, it's almost instantaneously. They beat my ass.
Yeah.
So then I became a vassal map. So the game didn't end. I was forced to surrender because my population gave up. But then I became a vassal of that country. So I was still good to go. I was just paying this country. Right? So the game continued on. And then you could eventually get your way out or fight your way out of vassalhood and regain your independence again. So I'm continuing that. 4X strategy, of course, is not a short game. Usually the sessions last for hours upon hours upon hours. Just ask Mav and I in Aura History Untold. We both have massive amounts of hours in the tutorial first opening that they give you, because it just keeps going. I really enjoyed Humankind. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so really enjoyed that. And then the last one I will mention, sorry guys, I'm just having a good time. We don't have a whole lot to talk about tonight. I just have a good time gaming, man. So the last one was on my wish list for a very long time. This game's a couple years old. Turn-based strategy. I made a post about it yesterday. Of course, Warhammer 40K has been on my mind. Chaos Gate Demon Hunters is the game. This game got kind of lost in the shuffle. Did very well on PC. Didn't do so well on console, but did very well on PC. Turn-based, classic strategy tactics game, set in the Warhammer universe. The great part about this game is, well, there's a lot of great parts about this game. I'm so happy I picked it up. I finally got a good deal on the entire package with all the DLC, which I always look for at this point. But this is the cool part about all Warhammer games, because it's done by so many different people. You get different styles all the time, especially in the artwork. This Warhammer is so cool because the art style almost has a little Borderlands cell shadedness to the characters.
It's like
XCOM,
or is it like?
Yes, it's XCOM. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because you can lose your character's permadeath, right? If they get killed, they have a certain amount of revives that they can do in game. Otherwise, you can lose them. You can also recruit more and kind of pick out your teams. You've got full loadouts, you got full customization. All that's in this game. So, but it's the story is super freaking awesome so far. Again, the artwork is dope. The UI people did I saw some reviews when I was reading it. Some people thought it was too busy. I could see why people say that, especially on a monitor. I was playing on the OLED, 55 inches, a little bit bigger, but it's fits perfectly into Warhammer because Warhammer, their architecture, everything is over the top, big, massive, bold, beautiful, like crazy styling, right? This UI is just like that too. And there's a ton of different screens because actually what I really loved about this map is it is deep. There is a lot of mechanics to this. There's a lot of Warhammer mechanics to this. Like when you start getting into it and you start building out your characters, you can upgrade your weapons, you can upgrade your armor like you normally would in an RPG.
Yeah.
Like you get bonuses, all that kind of stuff. So yes, very XCOM to your point. But I love how they set up the ship. You're in one of the battle cruisers. And so you get to travel around the galaxy. And there's obviously chaos incursion everywhere, which is creating problems, and that you're investigating, forced to investigate. And then you kind of, as time goes by, and there's a time system, then things can happen. Missions pop up everywhere, and you've actually some missions you won't get to because you can't fly there fast enough. They go away and expire after a certain amount of time. Just love the whole package here. I played for nearly 5 hours yesterday. Loved it, man. This is a super awesome game. Everything works really well. They got cool action cutscenes when you do certain moves or you toss a grenade or whatever the case may be. Just really am happy that I picked this up. It's been on my wish list for a long time. Been sitting on it. Great turn-based strategy tactics games. And that's how I started my 2025, man. It was a lot of strategy.
Yeah.
That's how I started it. So,
I mean, man, it's
good week.
awesome, dude.
Yeah.
There's so many things that you can just get lost in right now. Like we were talking about this. Like I kind of wish sometimes I was a gamer that I would just get lost in
Yep.
one thing. You know,
One thing.
like
Yep.
I would back in the day, but it's just not like that anymore. I don't know if it's some patience or there's nothing that has just sucked me in so much into the world anymore. But like, there's some games that I just like almost like stay away from because I know I'm only gonna get the best out of it if I do
Yep.
that, and I know I'm not going to. So it's like there's so many that keep coming out, and but I always want to make sure I play what's next and the next thing and the
Right.
next thing. I'm always looking forward to that. And
Yep.
man, this year's gonna be nuts.
She's gonna be nuts. Goddamn right.
It's
Gonna be
gonna
crazy, man.
be knucking butts, man.
Yep.
I don't even know what to do about it. Like really, it's like in the back of
It's
my
gonna have to
mind
be a
is like
plan.
I do feel bad for anybody that decided that they were going to. Well, you know what? I take it back. Fuck them. I don't feel bad. Um, anybody's like, you know what? I'm gonna like all this news, Xbox, putting their games other places next year. I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna go buy them day and date on PlayStation when they go there, or buy them 3 or 6 months later, or whatever. God, it's gonna be a lot of money because there's so many fucking games coming to Xbox next year, bro.
There is.
It's a lot of as
And
I
you got
was trying to add it up just from the first party releases alone. That's
mm,
like
I'll be right back.
$500. Yeah. Like, it's crazy, dude. There's like it- Avowed, South of Midnight, Outer Worlds 2, Doom the Dark Ages. We got Fable. Will be another Call of Duty. Plus potentially the Oblivion thing. All these things. I just started doing the math in my head. I'm like, God, thank God I have Game Pass. Like, holy shit. Thank God I have Game Pass. Thank God I have Game Pass. Because first party wise, the amount of money I'd be spending just on first party games from Xbox alone next year or this year. So this year in
This year.
2025 is going to be crazy. Then I add the games that I know I want to buy from third party to that, right? Assassin's
Yeah.
Creed Shadows, GTA 6, right? I mean, like, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
Which is looking fantastic. They just set up the review codes already.
Yeah, I'm adding all those in, right?
Yep.
Like like I've got to spend money on those, and then okay, so then I think about the third party games I'm getting on Xbox I don't have to pay for with Game Pass, like Clair Obscura 33, right? Thank God, thank God I have Game Pass because, dude, I'm just there's probably about the games I know I'm getting in Game Pass that I want to play, that I know I'm getting day and date this year. I was thinking about it, adding up. It's probably like, including third party day and dates and first party, it's probably like $700 that I know I'm set. So I and I get them on PC, get them on Xbox. Anyway, I was thinking about that. I just like, there's people that like said, "Hey, I'm gonna go somewhere else." Hey, that's cool. It's your
Yeah.
wallet. I'm not pocket watching you. Just saying.
No, we're gonna go through some lists, and some people don't play games like we do, man.
Yeah, that's
Like,
true.
and those people don't
They just play
realize,
one
like,
game. Yeah, that's fine.
yeah, or play a few games a year. Like, they're cool
Yeah.
with that, right? And like you just said, there's days that I wish that I was focused like that, and that's what I want to do. My problem is I enjoy too many different styles of games, and I see stuff. I just want to experience it. I can't say, "Oh, now I'm cool with what I got. I don't need to play that, even though it looks really great." No, I need to touch it at
Yeah.
some point. I need to play it at some point, and that's the hard part. But for those of us that are like that, right? That's where the real value comes into Xbox's first party being on Game Pass day and date. And we're going to go through the list, plus third parties, which again, there's a lot of great games already announced for Game Pass next year, third party wise as well, that help us, those gamers like us, Mav, that do touch a lot of games each and every single year. It does. It's massive.
Yeah.
Um,
Brandon Martin.
Brandon
Go
Martin with
ahead.
the $5 5 up. Yeah, I'm gonna shout out the chat, and then we'll jump into it. We'll start talking about some of these games. Brandon Martin with the $5 5 bomb. Choo choo motherfucker says 2025 is going to be insane, but my wife bought me 100 games for Christmas, so my back catalog is going to take forever. Oh wait, Mav, what's that last part say? I just lost it.
Go Birds, fly Eagles, fly the fuck far away from me. Okay.
I just got to pack that. It doesn't say that.
Fly away, Eagles. Okay, I get you, Brandon. Thank you, appreciate you so much. You're awesome. Fly, Eagles, fly, and go fuck yourselves at the same time.
Wow, did not say that.
Oh, didn't?
Sorry, Brandon. Yeah, I'm sorry, Brandon.
No, appreciate you, Brandon.
All right, let's get to this chat shout out. Then we're gonna get into talking about these games like Matt was talking, because there's so much here. There's an analysis going on now. Great to see you. The Razor Ultron AEC for life is in the house. What's going on, Razor Ultron? Thank you, brother. Appreciate you being here. The one and only Depka is in the house, bringing beauty to my X timeline. Thank you, Depka, for being here. As always, enjoying the show. The one and only Mr. Kima is in the house. What's going on, Mr. Kima? Great to see you. Def Leopard is here. What's going on, Def Leopard? That's right. Everybody's kind of mentioning Carry On is back in Game Pass. If you never played Carry On, man, wouldn't that come out like 3-4 years ago?
Yeah.
Great game. Really fun game where you get to be the monster. It's really dope. I spent a good time in that game, to be honest. Like, that was big for me back then. So go try Carry On and just jump back in again. Why so serious is in the house. What's going on? Why so serious? Great to see you here as always. We got the one and only hashtag peace, love life himself. The legendary Yobi is back in the community after he took some time off, as he is wont to do, from social media. Good on him. But great to have you back. Selfishly, Yobi, great to have you back in the community. Love you, brother. Thank you for being here, man. So much. Appreciate you. We got the one and only God Emperor Sofa King. What's going on? He said, and you can already lock in the new Call of Duty next year. That is correct, sir. Who else we got in here? We got the Masshole 1977 says it's the golden age, nerds. Nerds. That's right. Love you, Masshole. Thank you for that, brother. Appreciate you so much. We got the Phantom Death in the house. Thank you for being here. He said 100% finished 18 games last year, but I finished MP for like 40 games. Okay, that's a good run right there, Phantom Death. I wish sometimes. I'm proud to be a grazer, right? I'm not one of those dudes who needs to brag about how many games I finished. I don't give it to shit. I'll never tell you that I finished a game that I didn't finish. It just doesn't happen for me. But I really am impressed by people when they have their completionist lists. I think it's freaking awesome. So congratulations, Phantom Death. That's a big one.
I'll never have that list.
Nope.
Like, because it's just not like I finished more games that like this year I finally finished Starfield's main campaign.
There you go.
You know?
Yeah.
I
still have it.
I think I will finish
Very close.
Indiana Jones.
Oh, God.
Like, yeah, I will definitely finish that one.
I want to.
Hellblade 2 I finished.
No, you did that. I didn't do that.
I mean,
You got games completed. Yeah, I finished Space Marine 2 this year.
Okay, I didn't finish that one yet.
Yep. What else? Steel and I. What else have Steel and I finished this year? That's the only way I finish games if I co-op it with Steel or with you or somebody. Like I don't. I don't finish games anymore. Like it's just one of those things, man. I did finish Cyberpunk, so that was after launch though. I did finish Cyberpunk. That was a 300-hour playthrough, so I did finish that. But but I am impressed. I applaud people who do finish games. It's just not a goal of mine to finish games. I just don't care. People think that's sacrilegious. Like, how can you? It's like starting a movie and not finishing the movie. To me, it's not, because games are so different. It's about the experience. For me, in that world, the experience is more important than completing the game. For the most times, right? There'll be games where I do, but it's just for the most time, I just don't care. It doesn't bother me at all. Great run though, Phantom Death. Great run. You're gonna have more chances this year than ever before too. What's going on, Alvin? Always great to see you, brother. Thank you for joining us. He said I played 14 games all last year. Once I find a game, I like binge it. See, Alvin, you are the complete opposite of me and Matt, right? What I have on Xbox this year, even though it was a light year for me, 110 different games. I think it said I played this year, Matt.
Yeah, we had close to the same amount of games played.
And a PC, I don't know how. I think I had 70 a PC.
100%.
Again, yeah. It's just,
but I'll put like 40 hours into a game, and like, you know.
Yeah, there are games like that. Yeah, I put 300 hours into Starfield, right?
Yeah.
Again, I put four. I've got 500 hours almost in Diablo, or over 500 hours in Diablo. Hey. I did beat Diablo.
There's so many games. Like, does it count if you beat like, so the Tekken 8 campaign is actually pretty long for the story.
I did beat the Tekken 8 campaign too.
I beat that.
I did beat
Mortal
that,
Kombat
which is rare
1
for me on a fighter.
Also.
Love Tekken. Yeah,
Mortal Kombat 1 story also. Like, I beat things like that more so than I do like big story based RPGs and stuff. Even like Metaphor, I'll play like 20-30 hours into
That's
it.
Metaphor. Jesus
I know, man, and I love the game. Like, I'm like, wow, this is a
fucking game.
great, amazing game. But it's like
People don't understand that either.
Something else comes out, you know.
Yeah.
And I can't, you know, I won't be. I'm not one of those people that can put like 30-40 hours in a game in like a weekend. You know what I mean? Like, it happens. I see these numbers. These, like, the game comes out 3 or 4 days later, and it's like, yeah, I've beat it, and I'm like, fuck, man, that's gonna take me a month.
There's no way. And the other thing too is how I play video games.
Yeah.
Right. Because the 40 hours for a person who can stick to the main storyline is 200 hours for me, because that's not how I play.
Exactly.
I explore everywhere. Even if I know the benefits of exploring are minimal, I still wind up looking in every nook and cranny. I literally do.
Dude, I spent so much time in the Vatican and Indiana Jones.
That's
but
where I'm at. Like, yeah.
But I didn't even finish all the side stuff because I was just walking around looking at shit.
Right.
Taking random pictures, like looking for things to take pictures of. Like, I was walking around looking at everything, man.
Right.
Like, and you know,
that's what.
And like, it'll be a game I go back to, I think, and actually try and complete. That's a game I will tell you, I will
Yes.
probably end up being like a completionist on.
Okay. And I understand why,
Yeah,
right?
it's because
So
they
far.
add to the experience, right? But
Yeah.
I'm not letting it. I'm not making sure I do it along the way. You know what
Right.
I mean? But I'm still taking my time. It's so strange. Um, I think.
It's tough, man. It's tough. Again, you throw in a photo mode with me. Oh, bro, it's over with.
Yeah,
I mean, I probably at this point in Dragon's Dogma, I could probably have finished that game if I didn't have photo mode.
yeah,
I literally probably have 15 to 20 hours of
yeah.
photo
And
mode.
Dragon's Dogma, a perfect example.
Yes.
I put 50 hours into that. But
Yep.
I'm like
Yep.
very early on in the game.
Yeah. It's so good. Oh my god.
Like
So
as
freaking
far
good,
as
bro.
what actually I've completed of
Yeah.
what counts to be completion,
Sure.
I'm like still early on in the game because I just
Yeah.
did my own thing with it.
No, I totally understand. Again, 300 plus hours in Starfield, and I got what's her face still back at the main base waiting for me to pick her up. I haven't done one single mission outside of the side mission. That's
Yeah.
it. So, anyways, again, that's what I love about video games. That's why I don't judge anybody how they play video games. Never will. People judge me all the damn time. People do in this community judge me because I don't finish games, even though I'm flat out honest about it. I hate it. Stu and I talk about this all the time. I think, again, I don't care, but I think it is dumb and it's a little bit of gatekeeping when people do that shit because I'm not representing myself as a game completionist. And I don't do reviews on games like I finished them. I will tell you if I did. I will tell you if I didn't. And otherwise, I'm just giving you an impression. And I think that kind of gatekeeping mentality is really stupid. Gaming is very personal, especially the solo player stuff. Again, yeah, it can be communal. It can be great for co-op and multiplayer, but it's a personal experience, man. And how I enjoy my game really, I don't even know why it's up for debate, man. I really don't.
Yeah.
Like I've played more games than most people will ever touch in their lifetimes because of my age and because I was playing since day one and never stopped. I don't sit here and go, oh, because I've done that, I've got a better idea of gaming than all of you do all the damn time. No, no. Are there instances where certainly that experience comes into play? Yes. But just because you finished a game doesn't mean anything outside of the fact that you can talk about the story, you could talk about the ending, you could talk about how that game was throughout that experience. Whereas I can't do that, but I could still give you my impressions of the game, right? I could still tell you about my experience in the game. I can still tell you why I didn't finish it. I can still tell you about how I role played in Starfield for nearly 300 hours as a space pirate. And it was one of the best damn role playing experiences I've ever had in a game, which is exactly what that game's supposed to be, is a role playing game, right? So I just think I think it's wild, but I think it's cool when people are completionists. I just could never be that person. I could never, I couldn't be the person that just plays Call of Duty, Madden, and NBA 2K every year. I never could. I put in my hundreds of hours in the NBA and Madden back in the day, and certainly Call of Duty, but can't do it, man. I gotta play other shit. Got to. Lots of other shit. I see the Spartan 661 came through with a little 5 bomb. That's right. Attention, ladies and gentlemen. We are now at a nice, easy Mach 3.0, which is about to increase in a moment. But first, the Spartan 661 added a brand new car of speculators. Welcome aboard, all you speculators. Please take your seats. We are now at Mach 3.0, about to hit a new mark. So please buckle up. Pay attention to those attendants and choo-choo, motherfuckers. Welcome aboard, and thank you, Spartan 661, for that easy layup. Appreciate you keeping us ad-free in 2025. Your goal now is 8,570 as of this moment. You guys are already knocking into that goal for January. It's a beautiful thing. And then, not to be outdone, the Razor NZ. And yes, that NZ, everybody, does stand for New Zealand. He actually does live in the magical world of New Zealand where time travel is possible when you want to play a new game every from now and then. Beautiful thing. Razor NZ comes through with a 10 dunk. Got on the floor with that one-handed windmill jam. Flew overhead, dropped off a couple bags of coal. Got us 2 brand new cars full of speculators in 2025 with that 10 bomb. Welcome aboard, speculators. We are now at a Mach 4.0. Things are getting a little blurry. Things are getting a little fast, but this is how we like to start 2025. Hashtag no beans, because we ain't slanging no coffee around here on the Fun Speculation Network. Choo choo, motherfucker. Thank you, Razor and Z. Choo choo to all of you. Appreciate y'all being here on a Thursday night after a couple weeks off after the holidays. Good to see everybody back in the chat again. Love y'all so, so much. Let's see, where was I? Actually, we've been talking again. We're just doing our thing. We're just rolling around here.
Like we haven't podcasted in a while because we're just like catching up.
We're just catching up and we're going through shit. You guys are giving us conversations to be had, so why not? Wilfrey Rosario, I see you in here. What's going on, Wilfrey? Great to see you, brother, as well. I gotta get back to Stalker 2, too. Yeah, Wilfrey. So again, good. Stalker 2 is it's so fucking good. I fire it up and I'm like, it's so nice. And then all the patches they've done have already helped in a lot of it. Great game. Brandon Martin, of course, is in here. He made himself known. Who else we got in here? Scrolling. I think I remember who all I talked to. God, you got Buzz is in here. What's going on, Buzz? Always great to see you, brother. Thank you for being a part of the show as well. Captain Crunch, one of my favorite cereals, is in the house. Thank you, Captain Crunch. He said, I got Jedi Survivor for $9 on the Xbox store. Yeah, they had another one of those great sales. A lot of great sales, actually, if you were looking for stuff. There's a lot of cool ones out there, but great pickup. Again, just games I can't get into, man. I just can't do it, man. It's like Witcher 3 for some reason. I just can't do it. Someday I'll try again, though. I promise. Called Weeb is in the house. He said, I beat 20 games last year, but I also put 270 hours into Wukong, beat Liza P again on Steam, and then went back and got the rest of Xbox achievements, so another 60 to 70 hours. Dedication right there. Love to hear it. Again, you guys amaze me. The hours that you guys put in, especially the 100% games too. Yo, it's on another level. Froggy T White is in the house. What's going on, Froggy T? We got the Dion Hayes in the house. Says Happy New Year's. Just wanted to say Xbox has massive gaming lineup for 2025. It's a bloodbath. Yeah, we're going to talk about that here right about now. Thank you, everybody. If I didn't get your name, if you're listening to us live, but you're just lurking, I didn't call it your name. If I missed you, because I can always scroll through so far back, and YouTube's crazy on my, I don't know why it does it, but it updates all the damn time, and all of a sudden I lose everything. Or if you're listening to us in the future at some point, maybe it's 2028, and you're going back through because the Fun Speculation Network has blown up to 1 million plus YouTubers, YouTube subscriptions, and you want to find out where we started, right? Yeah, YouTubers. You wanted to figure out how we started, why we started, and what we were doing back here. Welcome. And nothing but love and respect, no matter when you listen and no matter how long you listen for, whether it's 5 minutes or the entire time. We love you here, no matter what. And you've given us your most precious commodity, which is your time. You can't get this back. You can't earn more. So thank you all for being here. Again, great to see everybody, and I hope you're all enjoying yourselves. So let's get into this, MAF 2025. And I guess we'll just start with the Xbox lineup, because the Xbox lineup by itself is like a full year. Yeah, it's a full year, and there's rumors that there could be more. Again, people are throwing out E-Day is going to be ready next year. I personally don't believe it. I believe, potentially Fable could be pushed to 2026, but we're going to take this at face value. And this isn't going to be everything. And if we miss stuff, again, please let us know. But Clobrio put out a pretty damn good list. Shout out to Clobrio. About Xbox Game Pass in 2025. And obviously, again, first party being what it is, it's going to be day and date on Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. I guess we got to say that now, because Core does not get it day and date, but on Xbox Ultimate Game Pass, you do get these day and dates. So from the Xbox studios themselves, Matt, right? We get Avowed, which again was my most anticipated game this year, second half, right? Obsidian, just got done talking about them with Outer Worlds. In fact, we're getting Outer Worlds 2 on this list as well. But Avowed is going to be in February, the month that is booked to the gills already. I am making room and time for Avowed. I will be playing Avowed straight out the gate, even though there's 3 other games I want to play. Avowed is simply something I'm not going to pass up on. I want to see what Obsidian did with it.
100%. I mean, this is their first big game under the Xbox umbrella, as far as like, hey, they had it cooking when they got acquired, right? And it was one of the reasons supposedly why they were acquired. was because they were able to make games like this and create these RPGs and stuff, right? So this is a continuation of a universe I'm already familiar with Pillars, right?
Yep.
But told in a true like Western RPG like way that they've done before numerous times. Obsidian's done, Fallout New Vegas. They've done Outer Worlds, right? Before that they've even done Neverwinter Nights 2. I think things like that. So they have this deep history with RPGs. Alpha Protocol was a spy RPG that they did. I mean, they just have a great lineage, right? Um, there was some years where they were doing more of like CRPG stuff. They did the Pillars things. They did another game called I think Tyranny is what it was called. Some other stuff, and this is their hey, we're acquired by Microsoft, right? They did Grounded, and they did Pentiment. They did some other
Mhm.
stuff, right?
Yep.
But this is their first big game, right?
Yes.
First big game under the Microsoft umbrella where they have, all the resources at their disposal of being a big first party studio. And I think it's going to deliver. I think it's going to
Yeah.
be huge. I think it's going to be the best thing that they've done, followed by Outer Worlds 2, which could even surpass that when it
Yep.
when it happens. So
Instantaneously.
it's going to
Hmm.
be crazy year for Obsidian alone. Two big games
Mm.
from
Yeah. Two big games.
one studio, obviously multiple
Hmm.
games, right? But
Storied studio. Much
100%,
beloved
yeah,
studio.
much beloved storied studio in the history of gaming.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
having two big games in the same year. The first one obviously being Avowed, which is more so my. I prefer like the fantasy
Mhm.
kind of setting, with these kind of games and stuff.
Yep.
So for me, which was Starfield was amazing. So Starfield's got me like, okay, maybe I am more of a sci-fi guy. I don't know, but seeing them bring that universe that I'm already familiar with to life in this way,
Yep.
from what I've seen from it since the first time I saw it, it's the second time, third time, fourth time, fifth time, I'm already in love with what this game could be. So can't wait for it, man. It's gonna be starting off strong,
Very strong, Mav. Very, very
and
strong.
the
And again,
previews are very strong for it too.
it's and again, uh, I'm not I'm not putting this on some crazy level. I'm gonna play it through. I know there are certain pitfalls that they could fall into with this game. There's certainly been a lot of conversation because it did go through a couple different changes through its development cycle. Um, Everything I've seen though, I love, and again, going back and firing up Outer Worlds again, the art style is carried over from the Outer Worlds, and it's absolutely freaking fantastic. Like that's what I'm excited to see, like the different environments and that kind of stuff. And the last showings that we had of Avowed, every time they showed it, it gotten better and better. Now, again, hoping that they're going to have a 60 frames mode, performance mode at least for console. Right? I'll be playing it on PC otherwise, for the 60 frames mode. But again, outside of that, going back and reliving and seeing the characters that they create in Outer Worlds, knowing what that studio has done in the past, knowing that a lot of the same talent is actually still at Obsidian. This is not a BioWare that has lost all of the original talent, and that nobody there obviously knows how to write BioWare style anymore. This is still Obsidian. They still have a lot of the same people there. All these years, they've just expanded out more now, but they've kept a lot of the original talent. So I have a lot of faith in Obsidian. Said it from the beginning when they acquired Obsidian, or when we talked about the acquisitions, that Obsidian was probably going to be one of the best studios. Talk about production value that they've gotten out of them already. And again, you can dismiss Pentiment all you want, you can dismiss Grounded, but both of those projects, for what they were supposed to be, turned out great. And Grounded went up and beyond what it was supposed to originally become or be, and became something bigger. So Obsidian has a great track record, and I think it's going to continue here. So I can't wait to see Avowed, and then obviously Outer Worlds 2. Um, I can't believe it's coming this year.
Yeah,
There was the shocker, bro, of shockers. Like, oh my god, I totally had this lock, totally penned in for 2026. Like that just made so much sense. That they would, especially with Avowed being pushed to 2025. But the fact that they've announced it this late in the game, this late in the year, they're obviously confident that it's going to be there. It's going to be ready. I can't wait. Like you, Mav, I favor fantasy, but science fiction is a close second for me, especially when it's done a certain way. And their level of humor in Outer Worlds and the choices and consequences, that's the biggest thing that I can't wait to see. And I'm gonna get 2 games that use that mechanic to the nth degree in Avowed and Outer Worlds 2. But that's like their master class. That's what they know. They are like high level professors when it comes to having decision making and consequences, allowing you to choose your adventure within the game itself. That's what Obsidian does in these types of games. So both of these are high on my list. But yeah, Avowed, Outer Worlds 2, um, Doom, The Dark Ages. Mav, again, I will tell you all, old school Doom fan, new school stuff, somewhat, right? Um, Doom, The Dark Ages for me, when I saw it, I saw that we weren't going to possibly have as much platforming as we did in the last one, which again will turn me off. You guys all know that. This is going to go more back to the classic movement style. You give me dragons, you give me dark medieval fantasy times with Doom Guy. We're back, Mav. We're back. Doom
Yeah.
the Dark Ages is going to be a big one for me. I'm super excited for this game.
Yeah, so like for me, like Doom 2016, Doom Eternal, I thought they were great games and really impressive games, but I also was more of a classic Doom
Mhm.
fan, right?
Yep.
I remember playing Doom and switching the controller back and forth with my brother back when I was
Oh, yeah.
young,
Mhm.
and that was like probably the first shooter I ever played was Doom.
Okay.
Um,
Interesting.
it might be. Trying to think back, but yeah, before that is like Nintendo games and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, if you talk about like Metroidvania stuff and things like
Sure.
that, but as far
You're
as
talking
like
about that.
a
Yeah. First person.
first person
Mhm.
shooter, yeah,
Mhm.
and I loved it back then. But the the new style that they had with, like, always, like, moving quickly to try and get the ammo that you need based
Mhm.
on finishing off enemies a specific way and keep that
Finishes were
momentum
cool.
thing
Yeah.
going and stuff, like, I haven't been as into that even though
Yeah.
it is fun and stuff, it's just I preferred back in the day when I was younger, the feelings that those gave as opposed to feeling like I'm like racing around constantly. You know what I mean? However, there's something about this one that like you said is a lot more intriguing for me because of the setting, right? Again, we talked
Mhm.
about I love fantasy in games and stuff like that. So you talk about the combination of parts of Doom that I still love with the music and how smooth the game is and how it plays, but putting it with fucking dragons and mechs and oh, it's just it looks crazy and over the top. And it looks like it's going to be something I've never played before,
Right.
right? Even like even Doom games, all this stuff, it's gonna be a different take on it, I think, right? So, I'm looking forward to it. I'll definitely play it, and I don't have to make the decision to buy it day and date.
Nope.
So
You know,
it'll be one that gets played for sure. Don't know if it'll be one I finish. Like I didn't finish 2016 or Eternal. I played quite a bit
sure.
of them, both.
Yeah. Yeah.
But maybe this one will get me to finish it. We'll see.
Get to ride fucking dragons,
Yeah, I'm
bro.
looking forward to it.
Wyverns. And also, we've got a glimpse at obviously id Tech for current gen from Indiana Jones, and it's freaking amazing.
Yeah,
In
dude,
fact,
that's
Digital Foundry gave it the best graphics of 2024, beating out Hellblade 2, which I kind of like how. I get Indiana Jones is gorgeous, but over Hellblade 2. But anyways, it doesn't matter. Digital Foundry, they said they got the Indiana had the best graphics of 2024. So we got an idea of what id Tech can do. Well, that's Machine Games again.
yeah.
Machine Games, obviously, freaking fantastic developers. We got the grandfathers coming in. We got the daddies coming in, right? id Tech themselves, right? Id is making Doom the Dark Ages. So we're gonna see kind of like when the coalition shows up, right? With Unreal. you kind of got the masters of their own engine here coming to play. So Doom: The Dark Ages, I'm sure, is going to boggle the mind graphically too, and
The
that is a big part of Doom.
crazy thing
So
with id too is like
yeah,
they can their engines they can run on.
optimization,
Yeah, they're super optimized. So do
stupid.
we think obviously that's going to be multi-plat when it launches?
Mm,
Do you think that there's a chance it'll be on the Switch too at launch?
probably didn't have the specs in time, hardware in time, maybe.
Right, so it'll be something that they
It
put
would-
out there later,
I
maybe.
think I think a
Because
lot
the
we're gonna
other
see.
Dooms ended up being on the Switch, I think.
Yeah, and I think it'll be again, we haven't even talked about Switch 2 next year, but that's
Yeah,
gonna be a huge, massive moment. But I think that's what the plans are, for Nintendo, and I think that everybody is going to have their stuff on the Switch 2, obviously.
yeah,
It's gonna be a massive seller. Um, but I think that a lot of this stuff, both, anything that PlayStation decides to put over there, anything that obviously Xbox decides to put over there, Xbox especially, because we know they're gonna support the hell out of Switch 2, will probably be a year after the Switch 2 launch. We'll start seeing a lot of Xbox games finally getting ported over. Maybe 2 years, year to 2 years, we'll see a lot of ports being done. But I just don't think they got the hardware probably in time to work on it. But they will do it for sure, man. For sure. Makes so much sense, man.
yeah,
And like you said, if there's an engine that can go anywhere on anything, it's id Tech. Like it's stupid. Like 120 frames on Doom Eternal is so impressive, especially at the resolution still. Like it's nuts. So you're right about that, Mav. Love to see that. So Doom: The Dark Ages, big one. Now this is the one that I think could get pushed, but we'll just, for all shits and giggles right here, we'll just keep it here in 2025. But Fable, obviously, Playground coming back
oh,
again. I know, man. For you, this is just as gigantic. For me, it's big. Again, I'm not going to sit here and claim I loved Fable 1, Fable 2, and Fable 3. I loved all of them, played them all. In fact, completed. We were just talking about what games I completed. Pretty sure I completed all three of them.
yeah,
Maybe not first one, maybe not the first one, but 2 and 3, I completed them. In fact, I think I got a 900 plus gamer score on 2, I think. Um, Fable's massive. The Return, love Playground, have the utmost faith in Playground. Taking Forza, the engine, and turning it into the Fable engine. I think they can do it. They brought in a lot of the old devs that worked on Fable back in the day. We know they're going to nail the humor already from just what we've seen, the short bits that we've seen. They've obviously are bringing the British humor back into it, which is all I asked for. I think they're going to crush this. This is going to be a return of one of the biggest franchises that should never have disappeared in the first place. In my opinion, Xbox should never have allowed Fable to go away for this long, but it is coming back, and it's coming back in probably the best possible way with one of your best studios working on it. Even if they've never done an RPG before, the studio just knows how to make games, and they have the goal of becoming one of the best, known as one of the best studios in the entire world. This will cement them if they can pull off the Fable return. So Fable, if it launches next year, again, GTA 6, a lot of games in 2025. Does Fable need a couple extra few months of polishing? Could that help out? I think it's going to be the late one in 2025, if it is going to be 2025, but this would round out the year with the biggest cherry on top you could ever ask for, Mav, with one of the biggest games in Xbox's library coming back for the first time in over a decade. Like, this is going to be a massive, massive moment for them.
yeah. Fable is like it's one of my favorite franchises. Period. Right. I talk about games that made me like Xbox fan and fall in love with the things that I always have found special about Xbox, and like it was obviously the first was Halo, right? Um, but right up there was Fable, and I've loved the Fable franchise since the original. I've talk about that I don't beat games a lot, but I beat each Fable game probably at least twice, which is rare for me. I will randomly launch one sometimes just to hear the story, the music, be in the world, whatever, like uh kick some chickens around, whatever I feel like doing. I just love um the idea of it. The your actions shaping your character, the humor in the world. I love the style of the world that they've always built and stuff. it's a super special franchise for me, and one of I mean, not one of, this hands down by far. There's not even a close second for me, my most anticipated game this year. And if I was to have, before this generation started, pick my most anticipated games, right? It would have been, Halo Infinite would have been probably number one. Fable would have been right there, as well as potentially like a new Splinter Cell, which we still haven't ever seen yet. But Fable's going to be a big one, like you said, for me. It'll be a big one. When I saw the actual gameplay for the first time, and like my eyes popped out of my skull when I was watching the showcase, and we got to see them actually show more of it this time, and I saw the actual like town, and like I don't usually get like emotional at these showcases, and stuff like that. I get more excited, but that one gave me feels because I was like, oh my god, they fucking did it. One of my darkest days as a fan of Xbox was when it was announced that Lionhead Studios was shutting down.
Yep.
That was like, I was like, what the ever living fuck? How are you closing down Lionhead, right? Makers of one of my favorite franchises ever. You're closing them down. Nobody else makes games like they do. I was like, you put them on all this Connect shit. You made them do all this stuff, and then you have this Fable Legends thing that I feel like some people were excited about. I was looking forward to playing it. Never got a chance to because it was canned before it came out, but it was gonna be a multiplayer experience. I know that we had talked to some people that have played the insider testing of it and stuff and thought it was great. And I was like, okay, well, it's not necessarily what I look for in Fable, but I was gonna give it a go, and I was looking forward to it. That got canned, and then Lionhead was closed. I was like, that was probably one of my worst days as like a Xbox fan, as a gamer in general, right? Just like when you have certain things that you love, and all of a sudden it ceases to exist, right? I had fear over the future of the franchise at that point. Well, am I ever going to get a Fable again? You know,
Hmm.
and if I ever do, what will it be? You know, but when it was announced, Playground was making, I was like, Playground, like, okay, they make fucking
Right.
amazing games.
Yep.
They're a great studio, but they make fucking racing games. Like, how is this gonna work out? I have faith in them, but like, like they gotta write a story. They gotta have dialogue. They have characters. They gotta have RPG mechanics. They gotta combat. Like, it's not something that they do. Like, and the Playground team came from racing game veterans from a bunch of other studios, right? So I was like, Playground, okay, but let's fucking give it a go. I have every faith in them that they're gonna give them the time. And then we hear about Lionhead devs coming on. We hear about all these
Correct.
other people coming
Yep.
on board. They were getting all these writers, all this stuff. And then we saw for the first time, and the graphics were like, oh my God, is that?
Of course, that was after 3-bit had caused a delay, though.
Yes,
So
yes, yes, yes. I was like, oh my God, is that what the game actually looks like at 3 bits? Yeah, that's what
yeah,
it looks like. I'm like, holy
yeah.
shit, man. And then we saw the next showcase where they actually had the more stuff, and they showed the town, and they showed more things. I'm like, they fucking they got it. Like, they got it. They
Mm.
they got the vibe of what Fable is, but brought it to today's era, right? So, anyway, I can't wait to see more of it. I have a feeling we might get some more at the Dev Direct. I'm crossing my fingers. If not, it'll definitely probably be at the summer showcase in a bigger direct, right?
Yep.
But can't wait, man. This is that's number one for me this year, 100%.
Yeah. And I totally get that, brother. Totally get that. And obviously, I was a big Peter Molyneux fan,
Yeah,
and it was a sad day when
crazy
Lionhead closed.
guy, crazy guy.
Crazy
I
guy,
was
crazy guy, a crazy guy. Some people would call him a liar straight out. Obviously, he had his moments
yeah,
of over promising. But what a character. And again, somebody for all the things that didn't happen in his games that said were going to happen. And obviously, most famously, Milo never becoming a thing. And obviously, a lot of it being fake. I still think that him having a studio underneath him that strived to do what he was asking to do caused things in like mechanics in like the aging and stuff in Fable, right? That just really did work. And I just think that it always helps to have those people, like even Todd, some people call Todd a liar because Todd
Yeah.
has promised a lot of things, but I think you need those people sometimes to push the industry. Now, could he have said things better? Could he have done things better? Sure, but he was enthusiastic. He was passionate. You can't say that he didn't love what he was doing, and still does to this day.
Yeah.
He loved what he did, right? And he wanted to make these things. He wanted to bring all that stuff to reality. So yeah, it was a sad day when Lionhead closed. But it's good that they, Playground did go, like you said, Mav, go out and get parts of the old band back together again to make sure that they were keeping the parts necessary to make Fable Fable, right?
Yeah.
Again, you're rebooting it. You're going to have your own vision. We can already see that it is going to be Playground's vision of Fable. It's not, copying and pasting what they did back in the day, just better graphics. They are going to bring their own touches to this, and it's going to be a different style of Fable than it was back then. But at the same time, they're keeping the atmosphere, they're keeping the writing, they're seemingly keeping the humor. Now, some of it may not be what they consider for modern audiences, which a lot of devs do nowadays and might kick some of it out. But again, bringing some of those people back that did that originally, you can see that that's all there. So I'm excited for Fable again, even though I will never claim to be something I'm not, as one of the biggest Fable fans of all time. I love Fable. I thought it was great. Can't wait to see what they finished product's going to be. Again, like people are saying in the chat, Jez said it was already polished. I think Nate Dogg said that Jez had already said that it was polished in alpha state from when he saw it. I believe it. It's Playground. I have the utmost faith in Playground. Playground, again, even though they haven't done an RPG and I got to see it, I don't think they're going to put out a shitty product. I don't. I think they're going to come with their A game, and they're going to prove that they can do RPGs on top of car RPGs.
What if that engine, with how good Fable looks, becomes a new like tent pole for making those kind of games under Microsoft's umbrella? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like because I call it Fable Tech because like it's obviously been they probably modified it and stuff so much, and I have a feeling that's what they probably call it. I don't know for sure, but they take Forza Tech and modify it so much to make that kind of game. If Fable comes out and hits and looks like we have seen, so far graphically and everything, like you're talking about something that's pushing boundaries, right? So can't wait.
Yep. Can't wait. Oh, Psychonauts, we gotta go clean your timeline, bro. Who people you follow, man? I'm telling you. Anyways,
he said he sent you a DM. I don't know what he's saying.
Yeah, he put it in the gaming news too.
Okay,
yeah, if that was the picture, yes. That account is well known, Psychonauts, and you know better that it passes off BS. Anyways, it is a cool picture though. I will give you that.
Yeah.
Great to see brother Psychonauts in here, by the way, too, as well. I think, Mav, next up we should talk about. Let's talk about South of Midnight. Getting a lot of press. A lot of people think it's going to be soon. We don't have the date yet, right? But from what we've seen, it's been damn impressive.
Some
right?
thought that we were getting it at South of Midnight of New Year's.
People, listen, it's all good thoughts and it's all fun and it's all speculation. It's all fun. And Xbox has done this to themselves, right? Again, when you have your Game Pass, for anybody who doesn't know what Mav's talking about, Xbox Game Pass on X, formerly known as Twitter, made a post on December 31st, said who's going to be at midnight launch, and then put up calendar 2025 circled, blah, blah. Why would Xbox Game Pass social media manager do that? Right?
That's my thing. It's like it's so easy to misread
Xbox, that. Like Xbox main account, okay. But when you do it through the Game Pass account, the people, they're going to be a certain group of people who instantly go, oh, this means more than just a who's going to be at the midnight launch, quote unquote, of the new year.
No, I'll
That's
take it
what they.
even further than that, because
Yeah,
if you just don't pay attention to the image at all, which some
right,
people that really don't look
right.
at the image too much, they just pay attention to the
Of
words.
course, of
Like the
course.
words just
Yeah,
alone, who's gonna be there for midnight launch? If you just like
yeah.
look at that, it's like, what? There's a midnight launch tonight on Game Pass? What is it? What surprise game? And like,
I love it. Yeah. And some people thought it was going to be South of Midnight. There was speculation that it was going to be South of
and
Midnight.
which is good speculation, because if there was a game, South of Midnight fits with the name theme. Plus, there's already had the documentary. They've been doing lots of gameplay clips and stuff like that. But yeah, I said this in our DMs. I was like, if there's nothing at midnight, which I didn't think there is, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be really confused just because of the way they did that teaser.
Oh, and then
Yeah,
yeah, and then people pick it up secondhand as well, man,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Through the discussions
Right,
and
right.
don't even go look at the original post to judge for themselves. They just start hearing, "Oh, there might be a midnight special shadow drop from
Yeah,
Game
yeah.
Pass." My point being was that I don't think Phil would do that to Compulsion Games after this much time. I think Compulsion Games, I think they want to give South of Midnight a full launch treatment. Now, some might question that, right? But I do think because Phil has been a huge supporter of Compulsion Games from the moment they purchased them and a big believer in Compulsion Games. Um, and I liked We Happy Few. I will say that time and time again. I'm one of the people that were on the side that I think they had something there. And I actually enjoyed myself in that world. Was it the complete experience? Was it the best? No, of course not. You could see where they ran out of money and ran out of time. You could see where it was a double A studio trying to make a triple A game on a double A budget and time frame. And it's not going to work out, right? You're not going to have a completely cooked game. But I thought what they had there, some parts of it was really well done and I enjoyed myself. And I've been a big believer in compulsion games all along too. And I said I just hope that they were going for that same style. Now, that's not what they did with South of Midnight. They're going completely different game style than We Happy Few with South of Midnight. I love personally the aesthetic of this game. I like some of the characters that I've already seen in this game. I like some of the story that they kind of given us. The gameplay itself isn't making it one of my most wanted games this year. That's gonna be different for everybody. There's a lot of people who are super hyped for South of Midnight, and it looks like it's gonna be really polished. And the people that are looking for that type of experience, it looks like you're gonna get a great game. It looks like it might be even a little bit bigger than first thought too. But I think it's gonna be a great game. I think it's gonna be a really good game for Compulsion. I just don't have the hype level for it that a lot of people do here, but it's still gonna be a big launch because Compulsion has been heavily invested into by Phil, because of what he saw talent-wise from the studio. He said yes to a lot of the things that they asked for when they first got acquired. He's given them the opportunity to work on this game for a very extended amount of time, more so than a lot of publishers probably would have for that studio, since really that studio's only done, a couple smaller games and then tried with We Happy Few, which didn't turn out as expected. So I think this is a big moment. That's why I think they'll give them the full treatment, red carpet treatment on launch. But it is going to be a big game for a lot of people. And South of Midnight is looking really good. I can't wait to download it from Game Pass. Again, no risk. I'm going to be checking it out. Maybe I'll fall in love with all the characters and I'll just want to keep playing it. But no matter what, I just know that they're going to do a great job and a lot of people are going to be happy with this game. What's your feeling on South of Midnight now, Matt? We're getting closer to
Yeah.
launch. And every time we've seen it, it looks better and better. And they've really done a nice job marketing it themselves as well. Lots of interaction on X and other social media sites showing off a lot of the artwork and all that kind of stuff. That whole documentary that they did was absolutely beautifully done, really informative. What do you think about South Midnight right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely one I'm looking forward to. Again, like, you got another kind of fantasy setting, but this one is like in the South, which is really cool because we don't get a lot of games in the South, especially like a fantasy game. I don't know
Yeah, the
if I
Deep
can,
South too.
yeah, I can even think of, you
Louisiana.
know, um, so just being kind of into that kind of lore and culture and stuff. I'm from Dallas, and like I would. It kind of reminds me of East Texas, so the areas around there. Going to East Texas outside of Dallas, like there's, you get outside of the city, and it's just a different world, right? So that whole Louisiana slash Texas border all along there, it's really just different, man. So like when you have a game kind of based in that Louisiana deep South area, um, and seeing like a game brought with folklore around that, like back to the history and stuff. And the other thing is the music, man. Like I was just digging the music in the trailers and the blues and stuff. So
Yep.
looking forward to it, bro. I think it's gonna be interesting to see how it plays. Like it looks like it plays great. I think it's really different for compulsion, you know?
Yes. Yes.
So but the traversal seems fun. I think it's gonna be one of those where the story stands out really well too. So it's hard to say how it's gonna hit.
Hmm?
My hope is that everything delivers as it looks because it looks amazing and everything sounds great. But we'll have to wait and see on it. Yeah, I would say it's like out of all the first party releases this year, it's probably like on the lower end of my excitement level. But it's because I'm excited for everything. You
Right.
know what I mean?
There's so much. There's so
But
much.
yeah, it looks really fucking good.
Um, Sin asks, Mav and Pong, isn't Tower of Honor 33 Immortals supposed to be dropping this month in preview program? Um, Towerborn's in early access on Steam right now. There's been no word on when they're planning on doing it for console, or if they're going to do it for console, or if they're just going to go straight to launch when they're
Well,
ready.
when they made that announcement
Yeah,
to the Steam, they said that it would be entering game preview early next year on Xbox at some
they
point.
did. Okay, I
Yeah.
didn't remember them saying that. Thank you
But
for
I don't
correcting
know
that.
if it
That's
was gonna be January or not. Yeah.
specifically January. And 33 Immortals is also supposed to be early 2025, but there was no specific date ever
Yeah.
talked about for when that's going to happen. So I guess both of those could happen at any time on the console side, like I said. So it'll be interesting. Again, Towerborn's a weird one now that it is on Steam.
Yeah, I don't know, like, how it's
It's an
doing with
oddball.
the insider
Yeah.
program on Steam. Like, I don't know.
Don't know either.
I can
Don't
look
know
it
either,
up
man.
and see.
Again, it's just weird. It would have been, in my opinion, it would have been better had they gotten it ready for console and put it in the early
Yeah.
preview on
I
console.
didn't like that they did
I
that personally.
Yeah, I think you would have gotten a much better response,
Yep.
from the console side, but whatever,
More
it's a choice they
excitement
made.
from the actual community that's been looking
Yep,
forward to the game.
and that is one of the games that Clobrio obviously listed here was Towerborn as well. We kinda already talked about the Outer Worlds 2, Mav, being the
Yeah.
surprise launch, and then, of course, Clobrio didn't have it here, but everybody made sure to point it out to him, and he put "and more," obviously knowing, but Call of Duty, it's Xbox first party studio now. So
Yep.
again, we will have the new Call of Duty next year as well. And so we're interesting to see that. So big year from first party. Now, Mav, coming in second party, third party deals already. This is just what Clobrio listed out. You guys got to think
Yeah, yeah.
about this. This is like nuts already, right? As far as Game Pass goes. 33 Immortals, which we just touched on, which is looking cool. Different. Can't wait to try it. Again, Game Pass, no risk. Definitely will check it out. Adam Fall from Rebellion Studios, Sniper Elite Studios. If you guys haven't been paying attention to Adam Fall, please go take a look at it. They are doing a fantastic job putting out little snippets here and there on X on a weekly basis. Adam Fall might be a sleeper, Mav, that catches people off guard. The more they talk about this game, it's going to have some immersive sim qualities to it. You're going to be able to decide how you kind of tackle situations. You're going to be able to basically attack and kill everybody off if you want to. And there's going to be some decision making consequences happening. This is a new style for Rebellion a little bit here that they're trying
Yeah.
out. Again, coming off their they've done a lot of different games, but obviously Sniper Elite's mostly the franchise that everybody knows Rebellion for. This might be one. This is high on my list. Again, from the time I saw it, then I started reading up on it. I'm like, oh shit. And it's dropping into Game Pass day and date. Adam Fall is going to be dope as hell, man. And this is coming, I believe, in April, I want to say. Mav, any thoughts on Adam Fall?
It looks awesome. I love games that incorporate like exploration elements as well as like some stealth mechanics and stuff like that. And so for the gameplay footage
Yeah.
and the deep dives that I've watched, it's all
Yeah,
about that. So,
looks so cool.
I'm gonna be into that for sure. Plus, Rebellion, like, for their multiplayer games and all these other things that they've done, like
Mhm.
Zombie Army as well, right? That's
Yes.
Rebellion, right?
Yep. That is
Um,
Rebellion.
man, their games are fun. They're polished.
Yep.
They run well. They're underrated and underappreciated, I think, as far as just the quality of them.
Mhm.
So when we saw this, I was like, interesting. I want to see what they can do in a different kind of game because I
Right.
know the quality they can put out in a multiplayer setting, like Zombie Armies. I actually prefer that over even the Sniper Elite games.
Okay.
Um, I was super impressed when I first played one of those. We were all playing co-op,
Yeah.
or early on this gen. I think after one of them got an update,
Yes.
and we dove in and we were playing a lot
We
of
did.
four players versus
Mm. It's fun as
four
hell.
player co-op modes and stuff. And I was like, wow, this is actually really impressive. Like, I'm amazed how it's running, how it's looking, how it's playing. Like, it's super fun. So yeah, I want to play some this. It like single player focused, open environment kind of game made by them. I'm really intrigued by it. It could be something that kind of changes the face of what everybody thinks of them as a studio.
Yeah.
And Game Pass
I
day and date, man. Love it.
Yep, Game Pass day and date, no risk. And then speaking of Rebellion, I just mentioned it. Yes, we are
Sniper
getting
Elite
another Sniper Elite.
this month.
We're getting this month, end of this month, January
Yep.
31st, I believe, actually. Sniper Elite Resistance. So, Side World War II, you like killing that. I was going to mention this too when we were talking about Indiana Jones, by the way. We're all adults now, and I know Germany has very specific rules, but can we just get back to calling them Nazis and stop with the fascist stuff? Like,
Well,
I'm sick of
they
I'm
do
sick.
they call them
Yeah.
Nazis a lot in Indiana Jones. That's
When? Because every
after
I've
the
heard it's fascist.
no, it's like after the Vatican.
Okay, okay, so
I
they do
think I
swap
think in
over?
the
Okay.
Vatican they're not calling them Nazis because
Well,
they're
throughout the
Italians.
beginning, they did. Yeah, okay.
Like I was trying to
Well,
think
but
about
they're
that
not.
too because I
I was
noticed
get
it.
I'm getting real, yeah, because 'cause I'm getting annoyed by it. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Come on."
No, I
Okay,
noticed
alright,
it
that
too, and
that
at first I was like, why are they just using the word Nazi? But like as the game went
okay,
along, like
yeah,
they definitely use the word, but I
okay,
think it's
okay.
because it's not directly the
Alright.
Germans there. I think it's because it's the Italians.
Okay, sorry about the sign tangents, but that makes me feel a lot
Yeah,
better,
yeah.
man. Because that's one thing that was annoying the hell out of me. I'm like, "Oh god, please." I know you can't do it over there, but you gotta block it over there, that's fine. But come on, man, come on. I was hoping they
Yeah.
hadn't changed.
Oh,
Okay,
no,
alright,
yeah,
that
they
makes me feel
did yeah, they
okay,
not
cool. Alright, good,
the
good. Anyways,
100%, it's all in the game. You'll be very pleased.
like, what I was going to say is that if you like killing Nazis, then Sniper Elite is for you. Steel and I had a great time co-oping the last Sniper Elite. If you guys did not play a Game Pass, it was freaking fantastic. Really, really fun. In co-op mode, it's dope. And they had an invasion mode. I'm sure not too many people are playing that way now, but people could enter your game and attack you. Oh my God. Steel and I had some moments with invaders that were just epic. We had some massive sniper battles and calling out shots and all sorts of craziness. So I love the Sniper Elite series. I love everything about it. I think it's dope. I love the X-ray, slow-mo. Every time I don't get sick of it, making all the different shots, hitting them all the different parts of the body. Like, I just love everything about the Sniper Elite series. And like Mav said, Rebellion, when their games are polished, their games, generally speaking, are when they come out ready to be launched. They are not undercooked. Every game nowadays need patches and has things here and there, but for the most part, their games are really well done. Sniper Elite Resistance at the end of this month is a treat for me. Can't wait to jump into it. It's looking good. It's set in France this time around, so can't wait. Plus I'm a World War II guy, so can't wait, man. That's gonna be fun. And Game Pass day and date. Beautiful. Um, Citizen Sleeper 2 Star Wars Vector. I don't have a lot to say. We don't have to say everything about every game in this list, but what I want to do say is go check out Citizen Sleeper. If you haven't played the first Citizen Sleeper, from a single dev, he's an indie dev, small time. It, you guys know me. I'm not the biggest. Um, I'm not the biggest dude when it comes to having politics in their games, right? and there's a lot of things that he's saying with Citizen Sleeper. But again, I kind of ignored most of that. This game, Citizen Sleeper, from this dude, I forget his name too. I should look it up right now. It is one of the most beautiful games, minimalistic sci-fi style that I've ever played. Citizen Sleeper is such a cool game. I am really high on Citizen Sleeper 2. I want to get back to actually the first one and play more of it. But really interesting ideas. And I think that it is something to try. Again, no risk. Download it. The dude's name, the developer is Gareth Martin. And actually, no, wait, I'm sorry. That's his name. He actually does have an artist along with him, which is Guillaume Singelin as well. And then the composer was Amos Roddy, but he's the main developer, Gareth Martin. He's on X, super chill dude, super cool guy, had massive success from Game Pass. He was one of the guys like Mike Rose, who had a lot of praise for what Game Pass did for his game. Citizen Sleeper, awesome game. Citizen Sleeper 2, I can't wait to try. Again, the art style is so freaking cool, man. I just love it. It's like, I don't know how to describe it, but when you see it, you'll know what I mean. Like it's just so clean. It really is. So anyways, go check out Citizen Sleeper 2. Again, no risk. I don't know if did you ever play the first Citizen Sleeper, Mav?
It might be one like I launched and just kind of like
Yeah,
played for a couple minutes
just there.
and
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
like
super
just
cool,
see
man.
what it looked like or whatever, you know.
Yeah, super dope. Go check it out. For sure. And then a big one, Mav, that everybody's going to be waiting on. And again, Colobrio put this in alphabetical order if you guys can't tell already. Claire Obscure Expedition 33. I don't think we need to talk about it too much, Mav, because we've talked about it so much. This is on everybody's hype list. This is going to be multi-plat. It's going to be everywhere, but it's coming to Game Pass day and date. This is a massive signing for Xbox for Game Pass, because this is one of those games where I feel it's going to be potentially game of the year, indie game of the year style. Again, this is from a studio in France, has JRPG styling, turn-based tactical game, except it also has real-time gameplay as well, because you can parry and dodge and counter on the fly as well. But they're from France, mostly made up of former Ubisoft devs, so tons of talent, obviously. And this game's going to be one of the biggest games next year, I think. If they pull it off from everything that we've seen and they keep this hype level up, Mav, this could be the next big thing next
Yeah.
year, especially from the smaller indie scene that just blows up everywhere. It's looking so good.
Be a FRPG, French RPG.
Yeah, French RPG, but in the styling of JRPG,
Yeah,
but
no,
with a French
interesting.
atmosphere and story, it's really
Which you
cool.
get sometimes in
Yeah.
JRPGs. They'll go with
Yes.
they'll have a
They got a
very
European style.
very
Final
big
Fantasy uses European. Yep.
100%.
Yep.
So it's like taking that, but like actually made from like European
Right.
developers
Right.
but with the mechanics of a JRPG.
It looks so fucking good.
But like, yeah, you can tell it's got the definite French flavor to it, right? So,
Yes. Yes.
more like true to that a little bit. So like, it's man, that game jumped off the screen when we saw it. The graphics, like
Everybody.
then when we saw it was turn based, it was like, what the fuck?
What?
This is crazy. Yeah, that's like,
Yes.
I was 100% all in on that, man. And like, there's not enough great big looking like games that are made with that style these days. Like, and I go back to some of the greats that we used to have, like Final Fantasy has even gotten mostly away from that now because like Final Fantasy 16 is the complete opposite of that, right? You
Mhm.
have the 7 remakes are staying a little bit more true to that. But the Final Fantasy mainline series has definitely gone away. But I think back to games like Lost Odyssey and other classic JRPGs like Clair Obscur kind of like
Yeah.
looks like what I would have envisioned in this day and age if that genre kept pushing forward,
Yes.
right? And that's the game we're getting with that. So looking forward to it, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And shout out to Sandfall Interactive. That's the dev studio making it. I For their first game out the gate, again, they're experienced devs, but looks damn good, man. So I can't wait.
Yeah, I went
Nate Dogg, I hope.
after that game was announced, I did some digging on them and stuff, and I
Yeah.
found like this tutorial where he was trying to explain how to do things in like
Oh yeah, yeah,
Unreal
yeah,
and
yeah.
all
You're
this other
kind of
kind of
making and stuff.
stuff, and like
Yeah, I
it was
remember
like,
you
okay,
saying
this
that.
guy's legit. Yeah, he
Yeah,
knows what he's doing.
that's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Nate Dogg keeps talking about that he thinks that Josh Sawyer is making a new Fallout game. Um, and that's what him and his team are doing. I hope so, Nate. And it does make the most sense, obviously, because Bethesda's not going to do it until after Elder Scrolls 6, and we know that. So unless Bethesda is blowing up and expanding out and increasing their team size, like doubling it so they can work on two mainline franchises at one time, you're right, Nate. That's not going to happen. So if Josh is doing it though, and they did allow Obsidian to go back to doing a side Fallout, that is the best of both worlds for everybody. And I hope that's true because New Vegas is freaking simply fantastic. There's nothing else to say. Um, let's see here. How Fuzzy Tomato. How are you playing Mass Effect again if you don't like politics and games? Fuzzy. Like I said, I can ignore a lot of it. Again, when I play Metal Gear, I don't pay attention to the politics, bro. I don't pay attention. Some things are more blatant than others. And like I said, Citizen Sleeper, there's some blatant messaging in there, right? But Mass Effect, yes, if you want to dig in and you want to look at all the different stories and what they're trying to tell, of course, there's lots of politics and lots of video games. I'm not that one of those people that says, "Oh, politics were never in video games." It's about how they focus on certain things, or how prominent it is where it does get to be preachy, etc. That's when it kind of gets. And again, Citizen Sleeper, he's pretty strong in his beliefs, and there's a lot of things in Citizen Sleeper. And again, but that game is just so dope. I just had a great time playing it. So, but yeah, no, Mass Effect, I don't go deep on that stuff and think about that shit when I'm playing Mass Effect at all. So I think Mass Effect is dope as hell just because the character and the choices and all that kind of stuff. And obviously the sci-fi is just freaking awesome. So I love all of it. Let's see here. Descenders next. That's right. More mountain biking for everybody. Descenders next is coming. I think that is a Mike Rose game. Speaking of Mike Rose, isn't it? Math? Is it Descenders Mike
I
Rose?
think so. I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Pretty sure. So yeah, that is also coming, of course. Great relationship with that studio over there. And then Eternal Strands, another new IP from a
Yep.
studio formed off of devs from, oh God, where did they were Ubisoft devs too, weren't they? For the most part. Ubisoft, BioWare, and I'm trying to think who else, but I think Eternal Strands was mostly Ubisoft devs, if I remember correctly as well. Ubisoft has lost a lot of talent, folks. They're huge, they're 20,000 strong, but they've lost a lot of people. And that is Yellow Brick Games. And this is also coming to Game Pass, and it looks cool as hell. Can't wait to try it, Mav. Can't wait to try it, man. Again, it's going to be a lot of battling big bosses and that kind of stuff, using the elements, using the environment. You're going to be able to like warp the environment and do lots of different things to use basically anything, any objects kind of as a weapon. You're going to be able to climb on the bosses. Lots of different things that they kind of put into this game that look kind of cool, man. So can't wait for this one.
Yeah. For sure. Me too.
What's FBC Firebreak? I don't know what the hell this one is.
That was when we got
was that?
revealed, I think. Trying to remember.
Oh, this is from this is that
It looked really.
this is
It looked
Remedies.
cool.
This is Remedies
Yeah, yeah,
multiplayer,
yeah.
isn't
That's
it?
the no,
Yeah,
It was one with the different. Yeah, the different people had.
Yep.
It was like the Control kind of Alan Wake verse multiplayer.
Correct.
Yeah. Forgot that's this year too.
I totally forgot that this year too.
Yeah, that looked crazy.
So, it does. FBC Firebreak, not my type of game, but again, shout out to Remedy for trying. I'm more interested in that they're turning Control into an RPG. That's going to be dope as hell. But FBC Firebreak, they're trying their hand at multiplayer. Can't blame them. Okay. Look different. Right? It's got that Remedy touch and look to it. So can't wait, man. Can't wait. Let's see here. Frostpunk 2 coming to console. So Frostpunk 2 should be coming to console. Another one that Clobrio left off is Aura, maybe coming to console this year as well. We haven't heard an update, but I would think a year after launch, Mav, they should. but we'll see. I guess there's no real timeline on that, but Frostpunk 2 should also be
Yeah.
coming this year. Again, another game I want to get back to. It's still downloaded on the PC. It's in PC Game Pass. If you've got PC Game Pass and you like strategy games, you like real-time strategy, got to try Frostpunk 2. It's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Those devs are incredible. It won. What did it win? What did it win this year? Strategy game of the year? Yeah, it must have.
I think so. I think it
Yeah, it must have. So, yeah, because it won over Age of Mythology, which I love Frostpunk 2, but don't think it should have won over Age of Mythology. But anyways, Frostpunk 2 should be coming to console. Now will be in Game Pass if it makes it this year. A game called Little Rocket Lab. Haven't heard of that one.
Yeah, I haven't heard
Lost in Random, the new the Eternal Die, which is the new Lost in Random
I
game.
forgot they're making a new one. Yeah.
Loved the first one. Played the first one a ton when it came out. Lost in Random's a cool indie game with dice.
Yeah, it was published by EA, right? That's what EA original.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, one of the EA originals. Absolutely. It's got a Tim Burton look to it, if you know what I mean. A lot of influence. Nightmare Before Christmas style.
Yeah.
It is very cool. It is very cool. If you never played the first one and you get a chance, try it. Otherwise, when this one drops in the Game Pass, check it out. As an indie title, I like this game. I like what the dev did here. Mixtape Mav. That's that 80s friendship game.
That looks cool.
One, the adventure. Yeah. Yeah.
That's a narrative game.
Right. Would it be a game that I purchased? No. Because it's in Game Pass, will I check it out? Absolutely, just for the music, just for like the tone. I'm actually going to check that one out.
That
So
one actually,
Mixtape
like a lot of the narrative games, I'm kind of like, whatever. But like, that one looked actually
Yeah.
really cool to me.
It looked cool. We got another one. Nirvana Noir is coming to Game Pass. Has this one already been out? I think it's already on Steam. I think this is a PC game. If anybody remembers, there was what was the first one called? The weird music game that was black and white, and it had a narrative, but it was based on music, and you had to complete different. There was it was a noir, and I can't remember the name of it. Anyways, I think this is their second one. Is it? No, it's not available on Steam yet. So there is a demo on Steam right now. So this is another one of those, very stylish. Don't know what else to say about Nirvana Noir. Mav, a game we've been waiting for a very long time that a lot of us have been hyped for ever since we first saw it. Replaced is launching this year. Finally, the indie 2D.
Yeah, I was surprised it didn't hit this year, but like, yeah, it'll be next year.
Yeah.
So
Blade Runner-esque.
That's going to be a popular one when it drops.
Yes.
Like, it'll probably be one of those games that's like in the indie game of the year category, right? It looks fucking amazing.
And they've been given a ton of extra time to finish the game too, because it got delayed multiple times.
Everybody that got hands on with it around the Summer Game Fest was like amazing. Yeah, they thought it was great.
It looks so good. It looks so good. Can't wait. Road 96 is coming to Game Pass this year. Then we've got Sleight of Hand coming to Game Pass. The Sleight of Hand, is that another card game?
No.
No?
It doesn't look like it.
Magic?
Oh, this is the sneaking game that they announced. The stealth
one?
Oh,
yeah. Okay. Yep. The noir spy kind of thrill. Yes.
Yeah, they had it at the Keighley at the Game Awards, I think. Right?
They did, and I liked what I saw of this one. Yep. Okay, cool. I forgot that was even a thing. Sleight of Hand. That's how many games have been announced. It's nuts. So Sleight of Hand is coming this year. Go check that one out. Already talked about Sniper Elite Resistance. Subnautica 2. Again, they got a good relationship with the Subnautica devs, 505 Games. Obviously, the publisher. Subnautica is one of those games that has a big fan base. Nobody talks about, but Subnautica did very well. Subnautica 2 is going to be big. I've played them. They're fun for a minute, and then I'm like, okay, that was cool. But again, a lot of people love Subnautica, so Subnautica 2 is a great get. Game I played a demo for too, Mav, and a game that a lot of people have their eye on, The Alters.
Yeah,
you remember this one?
Yeah,
Mav?
that one looks really cool. It's where you make the clones, right?
Clones, yes. And you're trapped on this planet, and you got that big giant wheel.
Yeah.
Which is your base, and it moves.
Yeah.
And you're on this planet that is full of shit, and you got to go explore. and it's a survival game, but you got to get inside at night because the planets destroy you. Um, I played the demo on Steam. Fantastic. There's a lot of potential here. This game, the visuals on it are super cool. This is another indie game, but I can't wait to get into the story with the clones. Because if you guys remember, the clones map will have different personalities from you, and you actually have to control the personalities. You kind of have to be the mediator between yourselves as you're on there because they can get in fights and arguments, which can affect things. Really dope. Again, had a great time with the demo. Can't wait for the full launch. So that's the altars. Real world Winter Burrow, which Mav would say is a me game
Yeah.
because he
Got a
took one
mouse in
thing
it.
I said that I like little mice games. They're totally cool. That's not a fact that I like all little mice games, but I think they're kind of cool, especially when they make them warriors. But the Winter Burrow is not that. You are a little mouse who is not necessarily a warrior, and you got to survive in the field. If you guys remember, a cute little artsy indie game with a cute little story to it, etc. So that will be coming this year. And Wu Chang Fallen Feathers, Mav. This might be the game that makes a lot of the Xbox fans forget about Black Myth Wukong. If it doesn't get announced that it's coming out, Wu Chang Fallen Feathers has a chance to be that game. It is not skipping Xbox. It is coming, and it is coming to Game Pass, which is another big, massive win to get another Souls game. They had really good success with Liza P. I think this will be another one of those situations as long as the dev nails it. Wu Chang Fallen Feathers, a lot of people are waiting on. So it's gonna be a cool game.
Yeah, I'm
Not
looking forward to
me.
that one because it looks a little bit more appealing than other Soulsy kind of games for me. So I keep waiting for that game that's gonna click and resonate with me in that genre. So that one could be it. It looks a little bit more actiony. So
Yeah, agreed. All right. That's just Xbox, folks. That's just Game Pass.
that's just game.
That's just what we know about right now. Again, there's been rumors that E-Day might be ready. Obviously, I've been saying all along that I think that Clockwork Revolution from In Exile might be ready. Some other people have started that train as well. I've been saying that for about 2 years now, or a year and a half now. Um, who knows?
Yeah.
But that's just what we know now. We know there's going to be more third-party deals. You got games like Contraband floating out there that potentially could be ready this year.
Everwild is there's
Everwild at
some
some
smoke
point.
floating around that about that now. There's
Old Special Nick and Jez said that they knew of 3 more
the
code
Oblivion
names that were
remake.
supposedly gonna be ready. The Oblivion remake was not included here. That's getting massive
Yep.
smoke right now. That becomes my most anticipated game of the year if that's true, which is nuts to
What
say,
if it's
but
just a
I'm not.
remaster? Like a polish
Well,
and
then that would take it
optimization?
down a step, right? But again, all the smoke is that they did it in Unreal
Yeah,
Engine.
yeah.
So if that it's over with. If it's a full remake, it's a brand new game. Again, it's not going to play the same as the original game. So
Yeah.
you're getting a new Elder Scrolls game, in my view, and from how I will play it, you're getting a brand new Elder Scrolls game this year. Like because it's going to be different. It's going to play different. It's going to feel different than the original, and I'm excited to try it. Now, could it turn out shitty? Yeah, of course it could. But I don't think that Todd would let this game be greenlit and have the studio launch something that would be totally crappy. Now you can say, well, he did it with Fallout 76. Listen, that was his own crew. Like that was a different situation, blah, blah, blah. I think that if his baby's going to come back, Oblivion's going to come back, and I think he's all for it. And they've been working on it now for what some people are saying is 5 years now. Um, yeah, this will be my most anticipated game, man. And it's gonna be on Game Pass as well on day and date. Fuck.
And there's so much smoke about a bunch of different stuff, right? But I
Yeah.
think it's fair to say that there's going to be games that we don't know about right now hit for 2025, right?
Yes. Yes.
There will be games that we've talked about that get delayed out of 2025.
Mm.
Maybe from first party, maybe not, right? On Xbox's side. Overall, though, like one thing we can count on is we're getting a shit ton of good games this year.
We are.
And that's not even including that's just the Xbox and Game Pass side that we
Correct.
just ran in what we went through. Um as far as other things, I mean you have a whole platform launch, a new platform launching for
Yep.
Nintendo and the Switch
Switch
2.
2. Yep.
which is going to be a big deal, right? So you can bet there's going to be more big games announced from Nintendo, and hopefully something I'm actually excited to play on.
We know we're getting Metroid Prime, so
Well, that one didn't excite me. I wanted to be
it
excited for it.
will when it launches. You will.
Do you
Come
think
on.
so? I
I think you will. It has enough of the old Halo feels, Mav. You'll get excited. I'm
Yeah,
not
but
gonna
I
say
could
it's
just
gonna be
go
your
play
biggest
Halo
launch of the year.
4.
Yeah, but it's Metroid Prime. Come on, you know the mechanic, like the turning the ball,
Yeah.
going through. You,
Yeah.
it's yeah. Again, I'm not saying it's gonna be your biggest launch of the year. I'm just saying that you'll get excited for it when you see it on Switch 2 again.
I need to see somebody else playing it because the
Right.
gameplay that they had, I was like, didn't look good.
I know.
You know, like the
I know.
way it's
I know.
moving the character, like it's just like I don't know. So,
I know.
but yeah, Metroid Prime 4 could be great,
Mhm.
right? I have a lot of hypes for it. It'll probably be in the game of the year competition for this year. I mean Nintendo's big game, you know.
Well, you know
So
they'll have more too.
yeah, I'm
It's
curious what else they'll have. I think Nintendo's got to have probably a earlier in the year show for the Switch 2 announcement.
yep.
Nintendo
It's a
Direct.
rumor.
I would say in the first quarter. You
I
know,
think the rumor is this month, wasn't it?
this is a rumor.
Yep.
If we're like a summer release,
The
maybe like a
rumor
May
is
or
that all 3 are gonna have it this month.
that PlayStation will also.
That's the rumor.
What are they
But
gonna?
again,
What would PlayStation announce?
they got more
Something
games to
else
show.
for
They've had more
2025.
game They've had more games in the works. There's no
So,
question that they do.
Ghost of Yotei would obviously be there. Death
Yep.
Stranding 2 would be there.
Yep. Could
Um,
be there. They could show some Wolverine,
Baby Steps again.
baby steps. If the Venom game is all
The
real or was never
Venom
canceled.
expansion, that would
Yep.
be the big one for them to add along
Correct.
with Ghost of Yotei.
And they'll have some
Fair Games
they might have some fair games. That
Marathon.
might have some bigger third-party deals again to, fill some of those slots in, so they might have something big to announce there as well, that nobody's aware of right now. Yeah.
Spider-Man 2
Again,
is about to launch on PC, right?
you gotta again, we've had this rumor for so long. I'm just saying that the rumor is all 3 show up this month with
Yeah.
their shit. So, if that happened, it'd be huge. I mean, my god, January
I
is like
would
the
love
month.
it, man.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, let's go.
Um,
CES, gonna be a lot of some new announcements too,
what do
so.
you think we get for Switch 2 launch? Nintendo's known to announce games that come out within a few months. Like it's not
Well, we know their
crazy to think.
launches are always filled. So they don't launch without having a handful of first party titles, right? They don't. I think we will have a new Mario 3D game of some kind at launch. I think Prime, obviously Metroid Prime, will have a new Mario. I think they go back 3D at some point. And I think this is a perfect spot for it. I think they'll have one big surprise. I could see them coming back with Star Fox.
Yeah, those are the kind of things that would excite me. Star
Yep.
Fox, F-Zero,
Yep.
that would excite me. Star Fox, F-Zero, if they did like a wave race, fuck.
Yeah, if they did a wave race, yeah.
God, like I imagine like a great like new like, the gameplay on some of these games were just always amazing back in the day. But also I want to be excited for like features that they announced for the Switch 2.
Sure.
Stuff to help your existing library, which has been rumored more recently as well, is that they may do something like, hey, if you get the Switch 2, it's going to potentially enhance some of your Switch games. That would be great because I have a library on there
No,
of stuff
the
that
rumors right now, man, are all over the place,
that's
right? We
true.
got people out here claiming that it's gonna be as powerful as a PS4
Yeah.
Pro
Well,
Plus.
they had like the
And
specs
the
like out there and stuff. So I think
Yeah,
around
well, the
PS4
board came
Pro,
out, and then there was people already going, "Oh, but it's 8-year-old tech already just from the chip on the board that they saw." And I'm like, "What do you guys expect that
right?
they're gonna roll out a freaking 30 series card in the Switch 2?" I mean, no, Nintendo's gonna do what they always do. They're gonna have older tech in there with the help of NVIDIA, beefing it up with DLSS, et cetera, and some features that'll help it out. But no, the main tech is gonna be old tech. They're gonna sell that thing at a massive profit.
The exciting thing for me is this generation that they're finally catching up with last gen
Yeah.
is the HD era. So hey,
Yes.
finally we're getting like
Yes.
HD like era quality, like because I've been happy with fidelity in games really since last gen,
Yeah.
right? I mean, we got some of the best looking games ever last generation, right? I mean, still games that are launched for last generation today that look amazing. So if Switch 2 is capable of putting those kind of graphics out, then that means more good third party stuff. That means that the games that struggled to run on the past hardware might look better, all those kind of things, which like I'm happy with that. I don't need them to be a Series X or PS5 or whatever. I just need the to be to a certain level, right? And that'll go a long way for Nintendo, I think. So,
Well, and this could be really big for the industry as a whole as well, because Xbox, Take-Two, all these studios that couldn't put a lot of their games over on Switch 2 or never did originally or
right.
on the Switch are now going to, I mean, think about Take-Two. They're gonna be able to launch Red Dead Redemption 2 on the Switch 2. I mean,
Yeah.
it's gonna sell. It's gonna sell, like, all this back catalog of games from that last gen map that
Oh
didn't
yeah, all these
work.
publishers are chomping at their bits.
Publishers? Oh, bro, they're
Yeah.
gonna be able to
Oh
port
god,
these games over the
how
Switch
much
2
old
just
shit can
money.
we re-release now?
Oh,
Yes.
yes, let's freaking go. They're gonna do
Yeah.
it. Like, because for the Nintendo only fans that never got to enjoy those games, they're gonna be seeing these games for the first time, and they're gonna probably run pretty well on this thing. So, yeah, some of the big titles that nobody got to on the Switch, those are coming, man. It's got the potential to have a big library. So,
Yeah.
it's gonna be pretty dope.
I have reason to start to feel excited about Nintendo again, you know.
Yes.
I hope
Yeah,
I hope some of the games, I hope some of the franchises that I loved also come back. Well, we'll see.
yep. I just think they're gonna have a nice lineup. So I am curious to see what they show up with though, and
Yeah.
what it looks like. I think again, Nintendo doesn't do it unless they're ready. So I think we're gonna see that. Um, man, let's run through this Polygon list of 50 games next year. I don't usually use Polygon, but they had a pretty decent list here.
Okay.
Um, let's just run through some of the ones that we'd missed because we only did the Xbox
Yeah,
side.
yeah.
Just some of the let's run them through because this will give other stuff. Donkey Kong Country Returns HD coming to Switch this month as well. That's gonna be a big launch for the Switch player. Again, Donkey Kong Country, everybody loves it. So coming back. Sin Duality, Echo of Ada. Do you remember this one, Mav? We saw this one where it had the mechs and the characters, and you kind of controlled the mechs kind of like robots on the side, and it was set in this beautiful world. Do you remember that? We just saw it, I think, at the Game Awards, or
Uh,
not Awards, at the Keeley's during the summer. I'm
is it
pretty sure.
SYN?
Yes, SYN. Yeah, Sin
I
Duality, Echo of
remember.
Ada. Yeah, it's an extraction shooter, and
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
running
yeah,
around with your
yeah.
mechs, and you kind of you were outside the mechs, but you had the mechs as help,
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
thing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sin
Dude,
Duality, Echo of Ada this
what
year.
was that one fucking game we got announced that like it was like the retro HD 2D style anime or JRPG?
Oh,
Uh,
what is that one? Oh my god, the
it
time one, where we're time traveling.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Fuck.
yeah, yeah. Is Psycho still he'll remember. Somebody in the chat will. Chat, that JRPG style 2D HD, and it was time traveling.
Yeah, it's a
You guys know the one
brand
that
new
stood out.
game. I think it was revealed at Tokyo Game Show.
Could have been. Was that this year? Was that supposed to be the launch this year?
I think it's coming in 2025, or maybe it didn't get a release window or year. Oh god, but
How
it
was
looked
it?
amazing,
They don't
dude.
have it on this list either, I don't think. Going through
Okay.
it right now to see if they had it, but I don't think they got it here, but yeah. Yeah, because it was on all our lists as top one because that just jumped off the page. God, what was the name of that one? Ah, hold on.
Somebody help me.
Somebody, anybody.
Threads of
Uh,
Time. Psycho came through.
Threads of Time. There, I knew
Thanks,
Psycho would
bro.
have it. Thanks, brother. Threads of Time, yeah. Let me see if that one does have Threads of Time release.
Um,
Um, yeah, it was announced at TGS. You were right about that. Um, nope, no specific time whatsoever announced.
okay.
No specific time. So,
Well,
okay,
be a ways off then, probably.
it might be, or it might be one of the late launches this year, depending on who knows? I mean, I certainly could come out later this year just because they weren't ready to say something right now, but it looked fantastic already. So, yeah, that's going to be high on the list as well. So Sin Duality, we talked about Sniper Elite of Resistance, Civ 7, Math, another one of the February launches. All you 4X strategy fans, Civ is the granddaddy,
Yeah.
the one that kind of made the whole thing. Had its ups and downs recently, but Civ will always be given a shot because it is the granddaddy. So Civ 7 in February, Mav, and it looks gorgeous. The graphics look gorgeous already. So
Yeah.
from what I saw,
Gonna be
February
great.
11th, another February. Mav mentioned it earlier. We've all mentioned it. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. If you didn't hear me earlier, that again is early. They moved it back. It is now February the 4th. So get ready for Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Warhorse Studios already sent out the review codes. That's how confident they are. They just announced it today. Review codes are out. So people will have a full nearly month with this game.
Yep.
The first one, performance wise, I still have crashes when I play it on this PC, and this PC is, top 5% of PCs just because it's 7900 XTX. I still have crashes. But the game is freaking totally different than when you play it on console. It's like a new experience.
Yeah.
Kingdom Come Deliverance is a great RPG. If you're looking for a classic RPG, you got to try it. So Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 going to be a massive, massive game this year.
Yeah,
A
that's
lot of people
one
are going to be talking
a
about
lot
it.
that's coming February. A lot of us
Yep.
are really hyped for that one. I think it's
Mhm.
going to I mean, the first one was already gorgeous and
Yes. And
dark
cool.
and serious and cool
Oh,
shit
yeah.
like combat and stuff, the story,
Yep.
like the realism with it,
Mhm. Yes.
bringing that to another level with Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
Yep.
I think this is going to be a game that is one of these early games that really kind of takes off.
Stand out. Yeah.
You're going to have like a surprise amount of players playing it on Steam and all that kind of stuff.
It's gonna be so good, bro.
Yeah.
I gotta see how I'm gonna fit this all in. Assassin's Creed Shadows, of course,
Another February.
delayed out of last year, also February, Valentine's Day. So happy Valentine's Day, February 14th. You get Assassin's Creed Shadows. Don't know with every game that's gonna be out if I'm dropping into day one on this or if I'm gonna wait. Um, Again, we don't know a whole lot because Ubisoft changed everything up out of this game, right? They gave everybody their money back for the pre-orders. There's a lot of talk around this game. We're gonna see how it goes. Ubisoft needs this to hit big, big. We're gonna see how this goes. I'm still excited to play it. Nawe, the ninja, especially, that's a character I've always wanted to play in
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed. And again, the skill sets, the movements, everything looks really dope. So I'm still excited to play Assassin's Creed Shadow. It's just that February is full. I don't know if I'm getting a day one. I don't know.
It's
Mav, you're still hyped for Shadows, right?
Yeah, I might
Yeah.
do like hey, time to get back into Ubisoft Plus,
Yeah, you might have to. I
you
still
know?
can't get into mine, so whatever. I canceled mine and I'm out, so I'll have to decide when I'm going to pick it up. But yeah, I figured you'd still be in it. But again, February's so full. Are you making time for it, or you think you're going to wait, or
It's
what?
gonna be hard, man. I don't know, 'cause Avowed,
Yes, I know. Got a vow
it,
right
that's
there,
I think
bro.
Avowed is on the 25th,
The 18th.
18th, so it's only 4 days later. Or when
Mhm.
is Assassin's Creed Shadows?
14th.
Okay, so 14th, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is on the 14th.
The 4th.
Oh, okay, 4th.
Yeah, I know. What do we? It's yeah, fact.
Yeah, February is stacked.
It is.
It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be the month where it's like there's so many different things I want to play, but I think Avowed is going to get probably the most of my time.
Yeah, I agree. I'm making room for it, man. I
Yeah,
have to. I Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 might be there too. I might be splitting time between those two. But
yeah,
Avowed is definitely getting my playtime. I want to play it so bad. Um, Don't Nod's Lost Records, Bloom and Rage. Again, appreciate what Don't Nod does. They don't really do it for me. But a lot of people are going to be looking forward to Lost Records, Bloom and Rage, their new IP. So that is coming out February 18th. Another massive game that I still need to play the last one, but Like a Dragon, of course, is coming out with another one. Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. looking fantastic, looking fun as hell. They already said it's bigger than their other games. So they're going the opposite direction that some people say the gaming industry needs to go, right? RGG is going bigger. But shout out to them. This game looks awesome. And
Yeah.
I'm going to play it at some point. When? I don't know. But this is also February 21st.
I, I,
February is stacked.
I want to play Infinite Wealth still.
Yeah.
That came
That's
out
what
this year.
I need to play that still. Yes.
Like, and
That's
I
what I'm
want to
talking
play
about.
this
I
one
have
too.
like no time. I know. And then to end February, and this one is absolutely on my list, and I will be dropping other games to play this. This is why Shadows may really wait and hold off. And Civ 7, now that I have other 4X strategy games like Aura, like Humankind that I'm playing, I've even got another one in there too.
Yeah.
I might be holding off on Civ for a bit too. But Monster Hunter Wilds could be the game next year
Oh, that's
now.
also
Outside of
February,
GTA
right? Or
6.
March.
Yes,
Is it?
it's February 28th. So
Okay.
it's
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
last day of Feb. Going into March, but again, it's technically still February. But Monster Hunter Wilds might be the game. Outside of GTA 6, Monster Hunter Wilds might take over the gaming landscape for a lot of people. The world was already massive. What they're doing with Wilds and how it's showing, and again, Steele's going back and playing World, and then now he's in Iceborne. This could be the next evolution. Capcom don't miss, right? They don't. Um, Monster Hunter Wilds is going to be massive, and I'm day one on Wilds. I want to learn how to play Monster Hunter. I played the older Monster Hunters, which were same but different back in the day. That weren't quite as mechanically
Yeah.
complicated as the new ones are. Played them on Vita, right? PSP. I really want to learn how to play Monster Hunter. I want to roll in and be able to do some hunting, real hunting like Steel does. So Monster Hunter Wilds, day one is for me. I'm in, Math. In.
I want to
We're doing
be
this.
in. I was in on Monster Hunter Worlds like at
Yep.
launch, and I played the shit out of it, but I didn't really play with people. Now that I actually have people that
Say now.
are going
Yes.
to be playing,
Yes.
it's like I want to do that. It's just fuck, so many.
I know. It's stupid. It's stupid, man. Oh my god. Then right out the gate, we have another game coming into Game Pass, which Cloverreal did not throw on his list either. That we saw last year that's actually looking kind of interesting. Fragpunk.
Oh yeah. Multiplayer
Yeah.
game.
Multiplayer game. March 6th. Yep. March 6th, Fragpunk comes out, and from what everybody said, that got to play the early set. There was a lot of people who said it's got potential. It's fun to play. It's different. Like it's not a Concord situation. Like this has got something to it, right?
I loved watching I think it was at TGS the behind the scenes video that they put together for that.
With the devs.
Those devs are really fucking excited
Yes.
about their game. So I am excited to try it because of how much passion that they have for it, you know.
Totally. Off topic, but I still haven't even played Marvel Rivals yet, and I really want to play that game.
Yeah, I played
Have you played it?
I played one
Did you?
round just to try it and see what it's like and what it feels like. Really good. From
What I'm
from
seeing-
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did Captain America.
Okay.
Went around, I was blocking shit, you know, throwing my shield, you know, bashing people and stuff, and it was a good time, man. It played like Overwatch, but you're a superhero with you know, abilities and but like it was if I was to play a hero game, like a hero, it's not really a shooter, right? I don't want to call it a hero shooter, but it's a hero shooter. Like if I was to play a game in that genre, like Overwatch genre or whatever, it would probably be Marvel Rivals is what I would be playing the most of right now. But I'm excited to try Fragpunk also.
Yeah, I am. I'm excited to try it, but I was just thinking of that because I was like, damn, I haven't even fired up Marvel Rivals yet. And they're doing wonderful. I don't know if you saw the artwork today, but they're going to drop in Fantastic Four.
Holiday
Oh my
season,
God.
like around like all my nephew and niece and like other like kids are all around us. They're all talking about Marvel Rivals. That's all. Yeah, I'll browse Twitter, you know, just browsing through stuff, and I just see like so much conversation and just random tweets and posts from people making jokes about, you know, the character selections and stuff like, oh, when you're forced to be the healer because you know, like those kind of things all the time. So yeah, like this game is ascending to a crazy popular level,
which is dope.
Yeah,
I love to see it. all you Lord of the Rings fans who are also Farm Sim fans, rejoice! Tales of the Shire. That's right.
Oh yeah,
The
yeah.
combination that everybody's been waiting for. You can become the Hobbit farming sim of your dreams right here. So Tales of the Shire, March 25th. That is happening. We talked about Adamfall. That is dropping in March 27th. So that'll be in Game Pass in March. I'm going to have like already like five,
Yeah,
six
yeah.
games, Mav, to start the year that I'm playing that all of a sudden Adamfall is going to drop in March 27th. Great. Can't wait. Sim fans, The Sims that just keeps printing money for EA,
Yeah.
no matter how badly they screw it up, no matter how badly people get pissed off. It's like the only game is kind. Guess what? You are finally getting a competition. And if anybody didn't see the character creator for this game, it is insane. It's called Inzoi. It's coming from, shocker, a Korean dev,
Yeah.
but it is going to play like The Sims, except the graphics are extremely realistic and
Yeah.
beautiful.
My daughter made my wife install the character
Really
creator on her PC so
nice.
that way
Yeah.
she could check it out.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's crazy, bro.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm curious of what that game's gonna turn into. There's a lot of talk about that game on like social media like TikTok and all that kind of stuff. It's
Mhm.
where a lot of these kids hear about these stuff now. That's how she heard about it. People are talking about it on their discords and
Of course.
stuff, you know, like
It's a
because
life sim.
kids like character creators and messing with
Yep.
all that stuff, you know. So
And again, the character creator, again, why I say
yeah,
shocker Korean is because the characters are actually, you can make them beautiful. Like, not like it is like different when you can do that and people enjoy that. And so if they could pull off a whole kind of life sim game that does compete with the Sims, but gives you this realism, we've seen this again. The Sims are still massive for a reason. Like, people enjoy just spending their entire time in one
yeah.
world.
Is there also
This
a Sims like Animal Crossing type game coming out this
there
year?
might be.
Yeah, I think we just got
We
an
will
announcement
we'll
at
be talking cheese.
the Game Awards or something. Like it was like a Sims
Oh,
thing, but it was like looked like Animal Crossing
oh, yeah,
or
yeah,
something. I
yeah,
can't
yeah, yeah, yeah.
remember
I
what it
don't
was
know what that
called.
was, but yeah, yeah. I can't remember either. I'm trying to think what that was. I know which one I'm pretty sure I know which one you're talking about. Football Manager 25 comes out every year. Shout out to Football Manager. Big over in the EU, of course. Grand Theft Auto 6, I don't think we have to say anything about this. If it hits this year, and again, there's still question about whether or not it actually does, but if it hits this year, cancel everybody's plans. It's over with. Like, this is what everybody's going to be playing. Not me, but everybody's going to be playing Grand Theft Auto 6. So it's going to set records. People are already suggesting $1 billion before it even launches, which is absolutely truthful. It's going to break all the records. Grand Theft Auto 6. Be on the look for it. Other devs and publishers are waiting just to see if it's going to launch this year before they announce. A new fighting game is coming out from Riot Games, of all places, called 2XKO. That is set to launch this year. Definitely cool anime style. That is going to launch this year. A game that I am super hyped for, Mav. We don't have a date. Rumor is sooner than later. This could be first half of this year as well, which would be nuts. But Borderlands 4.
Yep.
I can't help myself. It's just it's my jam, man. I love Borderlands. Always have, always will. Started playing Borderlands 3 again here recently. Randy gets me excited every time. And I'm super excited for Borderlands 4. Had a great time with Tiny Tina. Won't be any different here, man. So I'm all in. Borderlands 4 is going to be awesome. Can't wait.
100%. One that we do have a release date for
Yeah.
that we didn't mention that wasn't on this
Okay.
list that I
Yeah.
know you will also be excited for.
Uh-oh. What did this list forget?
Tempest Rising.
Oh yes, Tempest Rising, because I had my releases schedule up over here too. I was just
Yeah.
going through the top 50, but yeah, I saw that
April
April, right?
25th, I think.
Yep.
Command and Conquer fans, it's Command
Did you
and Conquer.
did you see the lead dev put out his plate not faceplate what's the name of the display that does the artwork that you can hang on your wall,
Oh
the
yeah,
metal
I got
artwork?
a couple of displays. Yeah.
Yeah, the displays. He had one made of Command and Conquer.
Did he?
Yeah, and he hung it up on his wall. Yeah, he
Nice.
posted it. Yeah, this is for these devs obviously
They're not
love
shying
Command and Conquer.
away from the fact that this is pretty much Command and Conquer.
Yes, and Mav and I both played the demo and fell in love.
Yep.
So it's beautiful. Yes, that is coming in April. Um, Death Stranding 2 is expected this year as well. That one is on pace. We just got word this week. Side note here, a little bit of news from Hideo and his studio that the strike did cause delays for OD and his other game. I always forget the name of it now. That other one he announced did cause delays. He said that he's expecting to get back into full production some point after the strike clears up, and we'll be back on schedule. But OD did get a small delay, but Death Stranding 2 was going to be always the game that come out first. Now the question is, Matt, do we see this on Xbox day and date? That is the question.
Yeah.
Right? Polygon is listing only PlayStation 5. But does this, now that Kojima owns the IP, again, is he launching day and date on all PlayStation, PC, and Xbox?
I'm going to say no because I think this is still being published by PlayStation. So
it is?
I think so.
I thought 505 was publishing everything now for Kojima. No? Okay.
Well, I don't know. I'd have to go back and.
Yeah, I have to go back and look. Maybe somebody in the chat knows for sure. I don't think they had anything to do with this one. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe it is going to be PlayStation Times exclusive again, and he'll have the rights, or they'll have the exclusivity for a year or whatever it is. I didn't think they had anything to do with this one. Obviously, everybody knows it's going to be on PlayStation, obviously, and if it is only going to be on one, if he's not doing the other, it's going to be PlayStation. But it is
published by Sony Interactive Entertainment, unless the wiki isn't been updated.
Okay, cool. Well, whatever the case is, obviously Death Stranding is now on Xbox. You guys all know this. I did just actually wound up picking it up on sale because it was back on sale for $20 again. Again, play anywhere. You get the dual copies, which again for me is a no-brainer. So I will be diving into Death Stranding again as well. Beautiful game. Can't wait to see what he does with Death Stranding 2. We already got to see some of it in at the was it at the Keeley's, right? The Summer Game Fest, where we saw more Death Stranding 2, or was that the TGS? That was TGS. That was TGS. That was Tokyo Game Show.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, where they had the special half-hour presentation, 45-minute presentation, where he showed off different parts of the cinematics of the game, which was absolutely phenomenal. And then he did the photo mode, which was, oh my God, okay, on another level photo mode, because the characters would move in the photo mode as if they were real. It looked ridiculous. But anyways,
yeah,
I'm excited for Death Stranding 2. I think it looks dope, and I love the Decima engine. So
yeah, I wonder if it'll launch on PC day and date.
Yeah, that is. I like it. Is it good? Again, Polygon's only listed PlayStation 5, but that doesn't mean shit. So
yeah,
I'd like to know if it is going to come, but he hasn't said anything. So, another cool RPG that I played the demo through Steam demos was Demon School. This is a classic style game. Really cool turn-based RPG, top-down view. Anime-esque, not total JRPG, but anime-esque cartoonish characters. Demon School's got some cool mechanics to it. That is coming out this year. We talked about Doom. Doom the Awakening is coming out this year, Mav. Now we've seen more of that. That is the survival MMO game where you guys can build bases together. Looks super cool. If I had the time, I would hop into it. Don't have the time to invest into Dune Awakening, but there will certainly be some Dune fans out there. If they pull this off, and it looks like they're doing a nice job with it, that will be investing their time in Dune Awakening for sure.
Yeah, it looks cool, man. It
looks
does.
Cool. Yeah, just no, I can't, man.
There's so much.
Ghost of Yotei this year, Mav. We talked about that plenty. That is one of the PlayStation 5 exclusives this year. Now, again, questioning whether or not how soon it comes to PC. We will come to find out. But Ghost of Yotei was announced. Again, looks great. Ghost of Tsushima. Really like Ghost of Tsushima. Again, the more I played it, the little bit it dropped off. And I wasn't a big fan of Jin. So the fact that they're changing the character doesn't bother me at all. Again, we already have controversy around that, but whatever. Don't care. I'm the last person that really cares about female characters. We'll see how all that turns out, but Ghost of Yotei is obviously going to be big for PlayStation this year. It looks gorgeous.
I wonder what month it's going to release. If it hits, like, they've obviously had delays before on big games. Like, this was a This was their big one they've went ahead and announced. So I would think out of all of the games it could have for 2025, this would be
Yeah,
the most confident that they are
it
in
feels like
one.
their holiday one,
Yeah, maybe
unless they're
October,
planning
but
unless they're
September,
planning around GTA 6 like everybody else. I don't know.
maybe September.
Yeah, maybe. This does feel like their fall one though, their second
Yeah.
half one. If it's going to be their big launch, that's when they like to do those. So
Yeah, but
I
they
think
usually
that's what
don't
it'll be.
do October, November.
Nope.
They usually go September and before, or like
Well, God of
August.
War was November, right? God of War
Yeah,
was November. When was Astrobot? November, right? Or no, October. October.
October. Yeah.
October. Spider-Man 2 was when was Spider-Man 2 launch? Was that
That
a September game
October?
or an October game? Spider-Man 2 PlayStation launch. When was that?
June 30th.
Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah, that's the
Oh,
movie.
oh,
Sorry, that's
oh
just the
no, yeah. I
movie
was gonna say what?
Spider-Man 2. Yeah, it was the
Oh,
June
okay.
30th. Yeah, that was like 2004. I didn't see the fucking.
October 20th. Yep,
Okay,
October.
so yeah, I guess
Yep.
recent years they've been doing more October.
Mm-hmm.
There was a time when there's like before they were doing like every year was like everything came out before fall.
Right. But I mean, again, unless they have a deal,
Yeah,
advertising deal with GTA, which they certainly could, which would then kind of be their big game in a certain way. The way they'll advertise GTA 6 if they have a deal in place with
yeah,
2K, I'm not sure they do, but maybe they do. That would be like their big. They'll
yeah. So
they're gonna
maybe
keep
October then.
up it.
I'll say
Yeah,
October.
maybe October. Yeah, somewhere around there. Um, but yeah, it's gonna be a big launch for PlayStation this year. Killing Floor 3 is coming out this year at some point. Uh, Love Killing Floor 2. Freaking fantastic game. So, Killing Floor 3. Uh, well, Mav, this one's going to be a massive game this year as well, obviously. And this was a surprise announcement. Elden Ring Night Rain. Massive. This is going to
Yeah, it's gonna
be
be big. Monster
gigantic,
Hunter,
bro.
Elden Ring. Yeah,
Oh my God. Again, all you got to do is go look at the reactions of people, including Steel live when we saw it.
yeah,
For the Elden Ring fans, combine that, like you said, Bav, with the Monster Hunter S style. This is going to be big. From Software is going to knock it out of the park again. So that's going to be talk of the town as well. Think about again, this is what 2025 is looking like. Xbox themselves have some big talking games if they show up and show out, right? But then you get to the third party stuff, PlayStation stuff, Nintendo with the Switch 2 stuff. And you're talking about we've got this year, Mav, lined up again with big titles, right? Monster Hunter Wilds is going to be a big title. Grand Theft Auto 6, if it hits this year, the biggest of them
yeah.
all, the unicorn. Like crazy.
Elden
Ghost of
Ring,
Yotei,
Night Ring, Ghost
Elden
of
Ring, Night Ring.
Yotei. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
bro.
um, add Death Stranding too to that list too. Like
Death Stranding 2. Yeah, for a lot of people.
um,
Yes.
Xbox. I think the
Yeah.
Doom and Fable are probably the two biggest, right?
Yes. Yes.
And Call of Duty, whatever they have for Call of Duty,
Yep.
that's every
Every
year,
year.
right? So
Given. Yeah. Borderlands 4 is going to be big.
Borderlands 4,
Even though what people thought of Borderlands 3, it still did massive numbers, right? So like, that's gonna be a big launch. Yeah, bro, there's, like, a
um,
ton of games. Assassin's Creed Shadows, big launch. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, big launch. Like, we got big titles this year. Big
a
titles.
lot of them. Yeah,
It's gonna be so much fun, man. It's gonna be so much fun talking about all this stuff. Oh my god. I always forget the Elden Ring one now because that was another surprise that I was like, what? And I'm not the biggest fan. Professor Layton in the New World of Steam, all you Professor Layton fans, 33 Immortals, as we talked about. Anno 117, again, for strategy fans out there, Anno is a great game. Their new game is coming out this year, always a big launch on PC. Whether people believe it or not, it happens. It's also coming to console.
Mhm.
Arc Raiders, Mav.
Oh
Arc
yeah,
Raiders. If that shows up this year, look out. We're gonna have some fun in Arc Raiders, man. Um, yeah. It's gonna be a blast. So Arc Raiders this year as well, supposedly. Uh Mav, I personally, just because I don't get hyped for these types of games, and the fact that I'm hyped, I know that this, as long as it turns out, is going to be gigantic. But Marvel 1943, Rise of Hydra, bro.
oh yeah, bro.
It's gonna be,
Yes,
this could be a big ass game. Amy Henning, don't miss.
Yeah.
Okay, she just doesn't. Her writing's off the charts, and the little clips that we've already gotten from this game are just it's Amy. Like this is I think this could probably be one of the best Marvel games we've gotten ever. I think this could turn
Yeah,
out
it's
to be
gonna
that one.
cross that boundary between movie and video
Yeah.
game and storytelling and, in a big
Mhm.
way, like, Marvel fans will be rejoicing in that one for sure. And
Yep.
God, man, like, how do you
Right?
think that with this amount of games that are kind of big games this year, right?
Mm.
I mean, from third party huge games, you got big games from different first party studios. You think this year could kind of push a lot of hardware units for consoles of people that have been waiting? Because like
Yeah,
that's one of the things that
yeah,
both like the Xbox and PlayStation they've been having trouble getting people to move to the next generation, right?
they will move a certain more. GTA 6 will be the
And it's
mover.
because of games like that, right?
Yes.
Because GTA 6 will only
Good.
be playable on this generation console
Correct.
hardware, and it'll be the
Correct.
biggest game
Yes.
like ever. I think it's gonna obviously move a
Yep.
shit ton of PlayStations and move Xboxes for people that are in
Mhm.
the Xbox ecosystem.
Yep.
But then you go beyond that to all these other, I mean, all these other games as well, right?
Yep.
Like, I mean, if you really look at some of the ones that are hitting this year, it's like there's a lot of good shit out there. There's a lot of good shit that people games that people would have been waiting years and years for. You know,
Well, we saw that college football moved even some
yeah,
consoles, right? So, if EA college football could do that, again, it's only because Call of Duty, Madden, NBA, well, and now I got to throw in Fortnite can be played on the older consoles that nobody's moved, right? Because again, the vast majority of
yeah,
people are still casual players that only play a certain amount of games each year, and it's the standard games. And so when those games don't move and GTA Online is available again as a massive ongoing game on the old consoles, nobody's going to move. We just don't have it. But this year, Mav, like if you're going to move, if GTA 6 happens, then that's a unicorn that pulls everybody. But if you're going to move, if you're one of the people that just been waiting, we're getting a run here, Mav. I'm just looking at the other games, Mav. We've got because we just called out Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra. Mafia, the new Mafia game is this year, supposedly as well. So you've got that. Judas potentially this year
hmm
if Ken Levine. I don't believe it. I think it'll be
that new
2026. But
Dying Light game too.
the new Dying Light game, again, you got like Marathon. Bungie still. I don't. Again, I'm not planning on Marathon being the next big thing, but Bungie still holds weight.
Mhm.
That's only going to be on. What I was saying was that these games are all only going to be on current gen.
Right.
Finally, we're getting a plethora of games. Like it's been like we've gotten some games here and there each over the past couple years that have been current gen only, but now we're starting to get the vast majority of new games are going to be current gen only. Like the bigger games are going to be current gen only. So to your point, yeah, I think this is the year that definitely could be. Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater could be this year, Math. It's supposed to be this year. Konami reconfirmed that. That's going to be a big mover. That's current gen only. So I think that with those big titles being that way, yeah, I think this is finally the time where some of the late bloomers finally move over,
Yeah, like,
which is
oh shit,
crazy.
all right, I gotta get a console, right? Those people are like,
Yes, yes,
okay,
yeah,
I gotta
yeah,
finally upgrade.
right.
Um,
Enough different games coming out that there's going to be enough people. We'll see people go, oh, I really want to play that game. Even the ones that don't play a lot of games like us, there's going to be those games where, oh, shit, you mean that's really
yeah,
not coming to PlayStation 4? Okay, fine. I'll go get the PlayStation 5 finally, right? Or I'll go get the Xbox Series S so I can play it. That's what, yeah, I think that's finally happens this year.
yeah. I mean, like, you just have a conversation with like a random person. Sometimes it's like about video games, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, what do you have? They'll be like, I got that Xbox One or PS4 or whatever, and that's like today, like so. But they still play games, but they don't care enough, or because the things that you said that they play are there, right?
Yep. Correct.
But there will be games that are going to be those sensations, right?
Mhm.
that force people to have to jump
Yep.
ship. And college football was one of those. Like you said, it was a top selling game, I think, this
Yep.
year, right?
Yeah, it
So
was,
um it's
which
gonna
was crazy.
continue. I think it's
It
gonna
was.
continue, and then the next year and the next year, I think you're gonna see kind of a late
And then we're
adoption
gonna
of
have
this
next
generation.
gen announced,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
it's gonna be like, what? This is so weird now because we really don't have generations anymore. It really is like, I mean, technically we do, but it's not like the old day, man. It's just not
Yeah, because the
now.
stuff's still playable and
Yeah,
releasing on old,
right.
and updated. Like it's
Yep.
like the generations are really kind of gone. You know,
They're
I
ending
mean,
even more so.
I
This
mean,
next one is gonna be like, holy shit, because nobody's gonna move from their play. They just bought the PlayStation 5. They're not moving to PlayStation 6 because most of the games are gonna play there. There's not gonna be PlayStation 6 only games. Like, that's gonna be crazy. Same with
not for a
Xbox.
while.
Not for a while,
Maybe
long
not
while,
for a
right? Yeah.
long. Maybe like when
Yeah,
you talk about that, like
right.
comparatively to last gen to this gen, I think
Correct.
it'll be even more dramatic next gen. Like next gen,
Right.
I
More and
wonder
more
with
like PC.
yeah, I wonder with on Xbox though, like with the way that they're shifting, will it even matter?
Right.
You know,
That's
if they do
right.
what they're talking about, does it even is that even a thing?
Correct.
Like what is it?
I
Like
How's it
it's
going to work? How are they gonna
yeah,
make sure everything's compatible? How is that all gonna
because
transfer?
if it
Like,
all is
yeah,
scalable to PC, it's just at some point,
right.
like okay, like it's minimum requirements, so your Series S can't play it,
Right. There might be some of that Series S might not be
or
able to play it,
it'll play it, but
but
but you paid $200 for that thing, so it's gonna
or they come up with, cloud-based, what I'm talking about, cloud-based, AI-based
yeah.
type of solution, right? For
Right,
resolution
right.
for,
So like
so that the S can technically play it, right?
or
Because they can
like
play it through stream it through the cloud.
it at some point, like when you launch it, it's like, hey, we would
Yep,
recommend playing this via the cloud on this specific
correct.
device. Like I'm talking about
Right.
obviously like
Take
five,
some of
six,
the
7 years
power
in the
away or take some
future
of
and on some of those games.
right, right. No, but
The
I think
Witcher
it's something they're
4,
potentially working on now. Yeah.
whatever is being made on
Mhm.
this next level RTX
Yeah, they
something.
offload some of the
Yeah,
processing
yeah.
to the cloud to, or, to these different things that they come up with where it makes the S still viable, right? That
Yeah,
they
yeah,
can
yeah.
still yeah, I think that could be what they're talking
And
about when they were talking about this stuff.
at some point, there's going to be less of a care if you're playing on the
Mhm.
cloud or not. Like especially on single player
Oh, yeah.
games. Like for
Eventually.
I
Eventually, yeah.
it's getting closer and closer to that point. Like but at some point I think it's inevitable at some point in the next several years or something, Xbox will make a substantial upgrade in the cloud gaming level to where like the
Mhm.
fidelity is even closer to, native looking, right? So you have like 4K resolution, 4K 60 to 120 frame, whatever they could possibly do. But once they get to that level of clarity,
Mhm.
you know, um, then at that point it's like, well, do I even care to install this 200 gigabyte game, which is going to be in the future, or do I just launch it this way because looks fucking great and plays great, you know? Um,
Right. It's gonna
it could
eventually
get to
probably
that.
get
It could get to that point. And at that point, if you have a Series S, fuck, man, like,
it'll get to the point of like the difference between, like I've talked about, like streaming movies now in 4K is close enough that most people don't care, right?
right?
Sure, you still got your audio files, your visual files, your people who say, "Oh, absolutely, you go get a high-end Blu-ray 4K player right now, and you've got a nice TV, top TV, you could definitely tell the difference." Sure, right? And there's going to be people who always believe that in video games too, right? The native hardware is still the best, but I think we do eventually get to
Yeah,
the point with the cloud where it's good enough for the vast majority of people where, like you said, Mav, people are going to start making those decisions like, do I download this or it's good enough to play through the cloud,
right.
right? It's good enough. It's
Yeah.
close enough.
So like
It's not that big a
the
deal.
reason I'm bringing that up is because we're having a
Yeah.
discussion about the next
Yeah.
generation and
Right.
like it's at the point where it would even matter for last gen hardware. Will it even really even matter at all? You know,
Right. Yep.
so it's gonna be interesting to see. But yeah, dude, you're like next year and then the year after. I think you're gonna see people finally adopt. um,
Yes.
that have been waiting. The consoles are still the same price, so the late adopters aren't getting the, late gen discounts this
No.
this time
No.
around.
That's what,
Yeah,
right.
but we will be paying a pretty penny for that next generation when it
Mhm.
happens. Um,
Yep. But more like
2026,
PC. Like I said,
2027.
just things are going to remain viable for longer periods of time now. That's all it's just
Yeah,
going to be, right? So, and again, eventually, yes, minimum specs will move beyond, right? 10 series cards, 1080s can't play some of the current games, obviously, but for the most part, 20 series games might not be the best experience. 20 series cards, but hey, they still play. A 2080 could still hold up,
yeah.
right? So, that's how we're kind of going for consoles, right? So,
Mhm.
um, as I see it,
Cygnus says generations exist to have some separation.
right,
Yeah, but that what we're saying is that separation is less and less now. Like
right,
the majority of games that launch still launch across last gen and the current gen.
correct.
Like,
That's
and
why
most
it
of the
hasn't been a
popular most
transfer.
popular
Yeah,
games are still on last gen and current gen. So like,
yeah.
that's why they've always existed. Because there was a leap to take
Mm,
advantage of the thing. You sell the new thing, then you sell the games within this. So, but like that, they've become more like PCs where the games are still playable on these other hardwares. It's just not as good looking. So it's like that's going to continue. I think, and even more so next generation. It's going to be
yeah,
like it's just going to be how good of an experience do you want? Not necessarily a necessity,
right.
right?
That's a good way to look at it. Yeah, that's a good
Yeah,
way. Good way to look at it. But I hope you all can tell 2025, and this is just what we know now in January, is ridiculous. Like it's gonna be, I think it's gonna go down as the next greatest year. Again, we've had a nice stretch run. Again, everybody's opinion is different on this. I see some people still saying that past 2 years haven't been that great, etc. Listen, it's all gonna be what you love, what you play, how you look at things. For somebody who plays a lot of different genres and a lot of different games, past 2 years have been just better, better, and I'm expecting 2025 to be better. Like that's how it's gone. And I think that they're some of the greatest gaming years I have ever had, if not the greatest gaming years I've ever had personally. For me, when I look back at it, sure, you can go back in time. People do it all the time. Pull out years where there was, looking back, some of the classics all launched in the same year. Absolutely, right? But to me, it's in totality. And for me, the way that gaming is right now, and this is why it's called the golden age for me, the amount of games that I want to play that are good to exceptional is just overflowing right now. I don't have the time to touch them all. And this year, just running through this list, yo, I like Mav said, decisions are gonna have to be made this year. Like I've already made decisions this year. There are games that I haven't played. Like I was talking about, like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth. Didn't touch that this year. And there's a whole list of them too. But this 2025, there's gonna be some big games that I just wait on that I skip out, right? Star Wars Outlaws, again, didn't play it this year because I was trying to get my Ubisoft Plus. Didn't work out, but eventually I just didn't care. Canceled it because I couldn't get logged in. They didn't fix my login, so I just canceled it, but I didn't need to play Star Wars Outlaws because I've got so much to play. 2025 is going to be like times 4 what we got this year with those types of games. And we're not even looking at indie games. We're not looking at all the PC games that launch. We're not looking at any of that stuff. It's just straight up just some of the biggest launch titles. There's so many this year, Mav. So many.
yeah.
Don't know what to do.
It's gonna be amazing. Yeah.
It is going to be amazing. Oh,
What a
well,
year we have in store.
what a year this year was, and it just continued all the way through to the end of the year. We got some great launches, and like we said last year when we were talking about it leading up to the end of the year, this year's starting. January starts, and we're going to have launches in January that some of us are looking forward to, and it's going to be every month there on out. Every month. So, what a time to be a gamer, man. What a time to be a gamer. I hope you all feel the same way. Some of you probably don't, but man, I hope there's something out of that entire lists that we talked about just now, whether it was Xbox or something else that gets you excited. And again, we're waiting on the Switch 2 announcement and what that launch lineup's going to look like for sure. So we're waiting on that. We're waiting on the GTA 6 announcement to officially go down, because if that doesn't happen and they push GTA 6 to 2026, a whole lot of devs and publishers are going to jump into the end of 2025 here to get out before GTA 6 next year. So expect a whole new plethora of games to be announced for the second half of this year, if that happens that way. But no matter what, I hope you found something that you are looking forward to in this big giant list. It's incredible. It's incredible right now. Mav, any other topics you want to jump into, or are we good?
I think we're good, man. I
All right, I
mean,
guess.
like it's got a lot to look forward to. We're having Xbox Ultimate tomorrow night. Um, so anything that we can, I'll try and think of some shit to talk about tomorrow night. But yeah, it's at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Yeah, we'll have some fun, man. I can't wait to start to have the events happen and some of the news start rolling out, for this year and stuff as we actually get into it. But it was good to be back, catch up a little bit.
Oh, Steel Rain, I see you dropping in here. Says listening from the top, get naked.
Yes,
Love you,
sir.
brother.
Hey,
When
right
you get to this
now.
part, love you, brother.
All right.
He's listening to it from the top. Yeah, no, and Cygnus, to some degree, you're right. But again, we've seen it with this generation already. We've never had a generation where this many people stayed on last gen. Okay, this is the first time in video game history that half the people on PlayStation, half the people on Xbox stayed on last gen. So I think that's the proof in the pudding. Sure, minimum spec has to eventually come up and catch up, and eventually things have
100%.
to drop away.
Eventually, you need to
Absolutely.
upgrade your PC, right? Like it's
Eventually you do, absolutely. I'm just saying that
yeah.
even if that's true and correct, what we've seen this generation is that publishers and devs are willing to not push things to the point where they can't be played on the previous gen in the name of money, of course. And that's going to be a large majority of casual players, and it's going to be a vast majority of the big titles like Mav was talking about. Again, your Fortnites, your Call of Duties, your Maddens, your NBA 2Ks, the ones that used to change when we went to a next generation because the hardware itself was different and they had to make an entire new game. So the devs and publishers were kind of forced to make a new version of that game and push everybody to the next gen. That was the norm back then. That is now gone because of the consoles and how they're built, and they're more similar in tech to computers, to PCs, where they all kind of get even in a generation, a next generation, quote unquote, there's still the same type of architecture now, and that's going to just get more and more like that as we go forward, especially from Xbox, who's talking about having the biggest technological leap. But we know that they're going to make sure that every game come forward. That's a huge part of Sarah Bond's strategy. They know that they want everybody playing everywhere. What does that mean? Well, you can kind of speculate that means they're going to have hardware, they're going to have cloud solutions, they're going to have AI solutions that are going to allow games to kind of play wherever you are. And it's going to be that's their goal, and their stated goal, Mav, is to be able to buy one game and play it anywhere you are. That adaptability has to be built in, right? So looking at that, that's when I say, and we say, that generations are kind of done, because it's not that forced situation it once was when we
Yeah.
went from, we went from PlayStation 1 to Dreamcast, right? Two totally different systems, right? Or went from PlayStation 1 to PlayStation 2, two totally different architectures, right? And they had to make new games. And if you wanted to play those new games, including your Maddens, including your big games back then, you had to buy the new system, and everybody just did. This generation completely different already, completely different than it used to be. So,
I
but
mean, that's
we'll
why
see.
we got all the updates and upgrades on our old existing library. Like, and that's the point I was trying to make. Is that not that it pushing technology forward doesn't matter? Obviously, it does, and
Yeah,
having better
yeah,
hardware is going to allow developers to push the limits and create better games, like always. But you're going to have, I think, next gen even less jump off than this gen.
correct. Yeah,
But just
yeah,
because if there already have been supporting last gen so long with all the publishers and all that kind of stuff. Imagine next generation when the machines that we have now are even more capable, right? They all have SSDs in them and all these other kind of things too. Like, yeah, they'll be supporting these even longer than they did last gen. So you're going to have even less jump off, right? I mean, the people that are just going to be migrating now, not going to want to upgrade to a next gen console like in 2 years when they're going to get the best experience they've ever had on a console, and they're going to be playing those games for who knows how, like another 6 years, 8 years being supported potentially, like next gen. And
Yeah.
then until those games eventually come out, like that won't support this gen, when will that be? I mean, will like it'll be a lot further out, I think, than it was this gen, you know. So we'll see.
Could very well be. I
Yeah.
definitely see how that would work. So, yeah, interesting conversation though. We're gonna wait and see. It's gonna be
Yeah.
fun, man. It's gonna be fun. Um, all right, everybody. Well, I guess that's the first episode back after the holidays. The first episode of 2025. The first episode for Fun Speculation Network, in fact, for 2025, which is pretty damn cool. And I hope you all enjoyed the conversation. Again, small news topics. There's, smaller stuff we're going to talk about, but I think we covered a lot of it. But again, it's just more, we're in that mode, man. We've been
Yep.
gaming, holiday season. Like, it's just, hey, man, let's just sit back and talk about what's coming because we're both really excited about 2025. So thank you all for joining us tonight. And I hope you're all hyped for 2025 as we are. And we got a lot to talk about in 2025. Again, there's going to be a lot of big moments this year. There was a lot of big moments this past year. There's going to be some not so great moments because the industry is still in upheaval mode and will continue to probably be in upheaval mode. But man, like I said to start this whole show again, looking at the real world and how things already started the first damn day, the first hours of 2025, I'm freaking happy yet again to have video games to escape from. And that's why I will continue to push that video games are that escapism for most of us. And that's why real life sometimes popping into video games bugs a lot of people. And I understand it completely because I just don't want to even deal. I just want to escape into a fantasy world where everything is badass. But god dang it if I ain't happy that that's where I get
Yeah.
to go right now. So this year is going to be extra special. So appreciate y'all joining us on another episode of PM the PM Pong and Mav and the PM. Thank you for welcoming us back. Again, without you guys, we're nothing. So nothing but love and respect to each and every single one of you that come out live or listen later or lurk the entire time. 5 minutes, 3 hours, it don't matter. Nothing but the same love and respect to each and every single one of you. Thank you for starting off our 2025 great here on the Fun Speculation Network. So let's get everybody out of here. Mav.
Before we go, real quick, Thatch,
Yeah.
I missed a membership chat from him earlier.
Oh, damn it. Sorry,
Matt
Thad.
Thatch, member for 12 months, said, "Did you guys talk about the Oblivion remaster?"
We did talk
Yes.
about it prior to. Yes, we did.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier when we were talking about Xbox's lineup for
We talked about it last
2025.
year too.
Yeah, yeah, and the chance that it could be added to the pipeline for this year. And Pong
Yes,
said on the show today that if that was actually a thing and it's announced, that would be his most anticipated game next year.
this year.
This year. Yeah. Fuck,
We
that's
are
right.
in 2025.
Next this. Yeah.
Yeah, it will be by all of us anticipated. If the smoke is true and it's a full
Yeah, yeah.
remake and it's an Unreal Engine, yes, it's like a brand new Elder Scrolls game. It's one of my favorite Elder Scrolls. It's one of my top 2 Elder Scrolls games, obviously next to Skyrim. Of all time, then yes, it would be like my most anticipated because I will be getting another Elder Scrolls game this year. It'll be brand spanking new. Because again, I haven't played Oblivion quite some time. So yes, absolutely shoots to the top of the list. Could be so fucking cool. Let's go.
Yep.
Let's
It'll be
go.
amazing. It's my favorite. Maybe before Starfield. I like Oblivion more than Skyrim personally.
Yeah, and for me, it's back and forth. It depends on the day.
Yeah, yeah.
They could swap, so they could swap back and forth. But yeah, that if we get that this year, we get Fallout 3 remake next year. It's gonna be special.
Amazing.
Yeah, what do we got going on? We're doing
Yeah.
Xbox Ultimate tomorrow night, and
We'll do the XUP, the ZUP tomorrow night.
Yeah.
And then we'll be back Monday for FSP at 9 p.m. Eastern as well. And back here Thursday for PM in the PM. As well as you might see some game streams and other random things happening on the channel as
Are you
well.
gonna stream that one game we talked about? I don't even know
Yeah,
if you
I need
announced it.
to, man. I just like got caught up with the
Oh.
holidays and chilling.
Yeah,
I just
yeah,
like
yeah.
didn't.
No, I totally
It's
get
like
it.
I'm
I just want
tired,
I
you
want to
know.
try to catch it at some point, even if I got to watch it on
Yeah,
replay,
yeah.
because I do want to see more of that game. I've watched some people playing it, so it's just such a cool guy, and it's on my list. It's on my wish
Mhm.
list. I'm just waiting for the right price point. So
Yeah, I
can't wait.
think maybe on Saturday.
Okay,
It'll be this weekend. It'll be Saturday or Sunday. I don't know which day yet.
cool. Yeah, I really do want to catch that for sure. Um, yeah, everybody, you guys know how to find me, Ponxel everywhere. Xbox, X formerly known as Twitter, Steam and Epic and GOG and everywhere else. Follow me. I will follow you back. I am definitely, as of this moment, planning on being Xbox Ultimate tomorrow night to join the crew, depending on how many people are going to be there. You never know, but we have lots of laughs on Friday nights, but we also have lots of good talking. And that starts at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 o'clock Central Time. So join us right here on the same Fun Speculation Network for Xbox Ultimate on Friday nights. And then Saturday mornings, Steele and I should be ready to rock and roll again. We did a 5-hour stream of Path of Exile 2. We talked to some topics as people came in, and we talked a couple different things. But this week, we will be back to normal with a normal episode of Living Split Screen on Saturday morning. So join us for live, raw, and uncut opinions where we go 3+ hours, take you from your morning to your afternoon to your evening, depending on where you are in the world on Living Split Screen. Split Screen is all one word. 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central Time, Living Split Screen, me and Steel Rain. Got a lot to get into. Even when on small topic weeks, Steel and I have a lot to talk about. So be there for that. And then again, keep your eyes and ears open about the Shop Podcast. No official word yet from PTK Blam, but if the official word does go out, we will let you know for sure. The Shop Podcast, if we get back to it, will be 9 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central Time on Saturday nights over on PTK Blam's channel. And then, of course, next week it starts all over again. Tuesdays is still Double Barrel Gaming. It's still Mr. Boomstick who does it 5 days a week, but Xbox Factory Podcast every Tuesday. Check them out. 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 o'clock Central Time on Tuesdays. And then, of course, our week starts right here, PM in the PM. Pong and Mav in the PM next Thursday night, God willing, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 o'clock Central Time. Listen, y'all, it's the golden age of gaming. Get out there and enjoy it. I hope you have been. I know some of you guys have had extra vacation time around the holidays, man. I hope you guys have been playing a lot. You got a lot to get into in 2025. It's just getting rolling, man. So be ready. Play what you love. Love what you play. And I'll talk to you all real soon. Thanks, everybody. Mav, get us out of here, brother.
Bye, everybody. Have a good one. Peace.